you mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online and it's not like we need them. We don't need them. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I are safe and sound. We were on the run, rocking around the clock. Now all we need is right here in front of us. In front of us. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I are safe and sound. Can we just slow down? And we can slow waste another day. I don't wanna play. You say we need a change, feel that you need it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online, it's not like we need them. Safe and
Welcome everyone back to the SimZone. And Kenny did predict it. It is wet here in the qualifying session of Division 3. 12 drivers here on track at the moment, still waiting for WRC Mad Max, but let's hope he joins us soon. At Oulton Park, a very narrow track. It's a common theme here with the British tracks. But currently watching the Devil Sun in the McLaren, puts it on provisional pole, the only time to come in at the moment. A 1:43.2 in the wet. Baptista in the Bentley, 3.4 seconds behind. I believe that's just a banker lap there for him. Clay Champ now puts it into P1 in the 72 Ferrari, a 1:41.7. So already topping the timetables here. Bion in the number 12 Bentley, crossing the line, puts it into P4. These are just people's banker laps there. Oh, you can see the understeer coming into turn 1. And that's his lap possibly invalid already. There we go, he's going to pop that into the pits then. Oh, that's the Devil Sun knocking the bollards, the track limit bollards there. That's not going to help with his lap here. Clay Champ returns it into the pits. Where is Todd? He's got some traffic up ahead of him. Oh no, there he is. So no traffic actually, just the camera angle. Oh, when he loses the car, very easy place to lose it. I think that's where we're going to see quite a few drivers struggling, especially in the wet. But Santos in the number 25 Mercedes puts it into P2, 4/10 off of Clay Champ's provisional pole time then. And we've got the 420 McLaren of the Devil Sun. Let's see if he can improve here. Crosses the line and no improvement. Oh no, there was an improvement, just by a 10th. But at the moment it's not enough. Baptista now puts it into P3 in the Bentley. Bentley's a very good car here, especially in the wet. He's currently running in P4. Lager now with the Bentley, 1:41.5. Just pips Clay Champ there, 1.5 tenths quicker. Whereas Clay Champ at the moment, he's still got coming towards the end of Sector 2. That's going to Sector 3 soon. Coming towards the second chicane. But who's about to cross the line? We have the number 3 car of Leg. I'm just going to call him Leg because it's easier for me. But 3.6 seconds off. Oh, he's just lost the car there. Took a bit too much of the curb. And oh, that's a big collision into the wall. And that's going to be a return to the pits from him. W reserve, so he won't be able to qualify. Muzzy hasn't been able to put in a lap yet. He's not going to have much time. Neither has Tord, but he's coming up towards the final corner there. Let's see if he can put in a time here. And he crosses the line. No lap time there for him, so he's going to have a couple more laps to try and improve it. Santos goes even quicker. 500ths to Lager there in P1. Claychamp hasn't been able to improve yet, but he's coming up towards Island Bend and then Shell Oil's corner. Very, very tricky here in the wet. And it's so easy to outbrake yourself coming into Shell Oil's. And the banking here. Very tricky. The Devil's Son puts it into P1. There we go. 141.577. The McLaren, not the best car around Oulton Park, but he's put it on pole now. And look how close it is between the top three. All within a tenth. This is definitely going to be a good race for these guys. And we're still missing WRC Mad Max. I'm not sure what's happened to him. But let's hope he can join us, possibly an internet issue. That's Lager wide. Oh, he's nearly got into the barriers there. Has he kept it out? Yes, he has. I don't know how he's done that. But that's going to be this lap invalidated. He's going to have one more, or maybe possibly another lap to improve. And who's about to cross the line? Then we've got the 710 car of Swiss Rolls. Currently sitting in P7, 2.7 seconds off. SR Padda now into P6 in the number 13 Nissan. Oh, and he's gone off the track as well. But, oh, Miss Santos now improves his time to a 141.1. So, even quicker. Claychamp also up into P2. So the Devil's Son pipped down to P3 and Lager still in P4. So a lot of room for improvement then for a few of these drivers. And Miss Santos in the Mercedes really showing his strengths here. You can see how planted it is. They're coming up to Island Bend and Ashtrail Oil's corner. But the Devil's Son into the pit, so he's not going to be able to improve. I'm sure he'll be happy with that lap time though. Claychamp still out on track, coming through Knickerbrook. No, sorry, Britain's and then Hilltop and then Knickerbrook. There we go, you can see the bollard's already been taken out there. Very easy to do here at Oulton Park. But number 12 car of, that's Bion, currently sitting in P9, not usually where you'd see him, but crosses the line, puts it into P5, there we go, that's more like it. A second off of the provisional pole time there. Now got the 710 car of Swiss Rolls, who I don't think is on a lap at the moment. And there we go, time has gone to 0, so I don't think that he will improve. He's going to cross the line, and there we go, qualifying session has ended. Swiss Rolls in P8. Number 72 car crossing the line then, puts it into, oh, there we go, Claychamp put it into pole position, but Miss Santos just behind him, pipped him straight after that. 200ths the difference between those two. And I think we've got Mad Max into the lobby now. There we go. And good to have him here, but he's not going to be able to set a lap. But look how close it is up at the top. We've got the number 5 car now of Baptista coming through the final couple corners there. Lodge corner, and then coming down the start finish straight. He puts it into P5 there, so good lap from Baptista. Still got a few more cars out on track. Tord puts it into P10, so he's managed to set a lap time. And I think that was Lager up into P3, so good lap there from him. Last car out on track now is Bion, and the number 25 car is Miss Santos, who's already finished his qualifying session. So Bion's last chance to be able to improve here, coming down towards Lodge corner. And back down the hill and up again. Oh, that could have been track limits. Let's hope he's kept it within. And he crosses the line now. Where is it going to put him? No improvement there for him. So still P6, but there we have it. Miss Santos sitting on pole position, just 200ths quicker than Claychamp in second, and then Lager in third. just shy of 5/10 off of that provisional pole, that pole time. But make sure to stay with us because we'll be back shortly for the race. There we go, then back for the race start, and we are green. There is a pit stop, but drivers won't have to worry about that because there is an error with the server. And looks like we've got through cleanly. Bit of contact there. Oh, there's been a spin. Contact there between, I think that may have been Lager. No, Lager seems to be okay. That was Bion once again in another incident. Mad Max starting from the pits. Doesn't seem like he's got going there. Now his car's off the jacks, but the Devil Sun has dropped back slightly. Wait for the sheets to update because I don't know who's actually in the lead now. I think it's the number 15 car. That is Lager, who's taken the advantage out of that, and he's got up into P1. Already pulled a substantial lead then to, I believe that's Swiss Rolls behind, and looks like Mad Max has left the lobby there. So I'm not sure why that's happened, but possibly because he was starting the pits. Let's go back to, oh no, what's happened there? We have got Lager is dropped. No, he's still in the lead. There we go, now it's updated. Lager in the lead, Swiss Rolls in P2, Leg in P3, W up into P4 after starting from the back. There's a bit of damage on the Devil Sun's car there on the front of that 420 McLaren. But yeah, looks like someone tried to make it 3 wide into turn 2, and unfortunately that's that was the result of it. And the Devil Sun going wide there in the final corner. He has to be careful because Muzzy is very close behind him. But Baptista and Misantos dropping all the way back. Doesn't seem like Misantos has got any damage on the car, surprisingly. So I'm not sure what's happened there. Oh, there might be a slight bit of damage on the rear, but Baptista up ahead has got some damage on the front, so he's tagged someone there as well. SR Pada, let's see where he is. Currently running in P8 in the number 13 Nissan. But Lager's opened up a 7-second gap already. W closing onto the back of Swiss Rolls at the moment. Here we go, 3-car train. Now Swiss Rolls in P3, W in P4, and Bion in P5. Battle for the final podium position here. But W having to defend. Swiss Rolls has lost 2 positions. W and Bion up into P3 and P4, but Bion looks very eager to get this move done. Off the start there, he's got some damage on the rear and he's run wide ever so slightly, kicking up some dirt. Coming into the final corner, then he's lost some time to W up ahead. And W once again running his pink livery here in the 157 Lamborghini, coming down into turn 1. Now down towards Cascades. Looks like W is still holding on very well here. Swiss Rolls falling back slightly. Doesn't really have the pace at the moment to keep up to the 2 drivers ahead. That's possibly going to get Devil Sun close to him in the final few stages of this race. Baptista into the pits. Could that be due to damage? I'm not too sure there. Does say there is a pit stop, but there shouldn't be because it's set to 0 in the server settings. So obviously some error there, and we've informed all drivers not to serve a mandatory stop here. But I think that would be due to damage then for Baptista. And that's unfortunate. W still just about holding on. They are actually closing the gap to Leg up ahead. So Leg is possibly going to be involved in another battle, another 3-car battle within a couple laps here. And Bion definitely with the pace advantage at the moment. Coming through the final corner then. ignore the pit window. That should not be there. Baptista back out on track now after repairing his damage. Yep, his car looks in pristine condition now, so that would have been why he had pitted. Mis Santos closing up to the back of SR Pada now. These three once again battling, and I think it's just damage limitation for here for Mis Santos, and the Devil Sun also. He's run wide slightly coming into turn 1. Coming down towards Cascades, the damage is really not going to help his car. And you can see he hasn't got the best exit there coming out of Cascades. The Nissan of SR Panda is going to try look around the outside. This is very risky here. Two cars wide coming through Island Bend and then down to Shell Oils. There we go. Pada up into P6. Devil Sun dropping back 2 positions there. Looks like Mis Santos has got the position done on the Devil Sun as well. You can see the McLaren of the Devil Sun having to take a different line compared to the 2 drivers ahead. Can't really take much curb in that McLaren, but he's losing time now. Let's go back to this battle. Bion still on the back. Oh, of W. He's made a mistake beforehand actually, because there's quite a few seconds between W and Bion. 4.7 seconds. There we go. As it updates. So Bion's made a mistake and he's got Swiss rolls all over the back of him once again. But W, had to look up the inside coming through the final corner, and he's got the move done on Leg. Good move there by W, and Leg leaving him the room coming through the final corner. But W up into P2 already, but Lager running in P1 hasn't really put a foot wrong, and he's going to come out victorious on this race. Oh, as soon as I said that, can he keep out of the wall there? That's going to lose him quite a lot of time, and he's found the gap between the tyre barriers. And now he's continuing, but I think there is a back mark. I think that's Baptista behind him. Devil Sun now into the pits. I assume he's just going to repair his damage. There is no mandatory stop here. We have told all drivers not to do their stop. But Lager losing some time. I think the next car, we'll see what the time, the delta is once they cross the next sector line. And let's hope the drivers don't pit, because we have told them it's going to be their own fault if they do serve a mandatory pit stop. But let's go back to this battle. Leg is still sticking with W actually. W hasn't really been able to pull away, even though he seems like he had the pace advantage. He hasn't been able to pull away at all here. And Leg's made a huge mistake there. But he's somehow kept it together. But that's let Bion past, and now Swiss Rolls catching up to these two as well. You can see in the background, SR Pada's got Mis Santos all over the back of him still. And Claychamp after the start, not the best start from Claychamp. He's dropped down the order, but Mis Santos is going to have a look coming down in towards turn 1. The Nissan very, very quick on the straights. I think he's just going to hold on here. Yeah, Mis Santos didn't go for that move, so sensible there from Mis Santos. And we've got Hoshi in the comments saying curse. Yep, commentator's curse there. Typical. But look at that, Mis Santos practically pushing him, coming up towards Island Bend. He's going to have a look up the inside. And very close bit of contact between the two. SR Pada just about keeping it within the track. And he's going to have the inside there. Mis Santos trying the outside, but I think he's going to have to back out of this. His nose isn't up the inside yet. And yes, he has. He's backed out of that great battle. And this is allowed Claychamp. SR Pada's gone deep there coming through the chicane. And Mis Santos got the position done. Claychamp having a look up the inside. Contact. He had to try and avoid SR Pada there. He was a bit too late on the brakes, and unfortunately he's come out worse on that. Can't get the car going. But that's his race gone from bad to worse, unfortunately. But, good to see Muzzy back out on track now. SR Pada though losing some time to Mis Santos up ahead. Santos is going to try and close the gap up to Swiss Rolls. Now he's got 4.5 seconds to do so. The Devil Sun running in P10. He has served his mandatory stop, but that won't count in this race, so we'll have to do some calculations here at the end of the race to see how long he spent in the pits and whatnot. But Lager still leading the race. Bion is closing the gap to W now, 1.9 seconds. After his mistake, he's been able to put in the laps and close down the gap now. Leg has dropped back quite a lot after his mistake. We've got Claychamp into the pits now. And if he is serving that pit stop, he's not meant to. But the server settings are letting us down once more, unfortunately. But Swiss Rolls catching up to Leg. The gap 1.4 seconds between these two. Oh, there we go. Swiss Rolls bouncing over that curb there. Coming into Knickerbrook, down towards Clay Hill now, and then through Druids. We've got green flag. We've got yellow flag somewhere. Actually, is it? Oh, I'm not sure who the yellow flag is for. Let's look through. Leg has made a mistake, I think, because Swiss Rolls is right at the back of him now. Gap is definitely not a second. It's a few tenths between these two, and Leg taking a compromised line coming through the final corner. Now down the start, finish straight. Oh, and I think Claychamp there. Oh no, he's still in the lobby. Oh, I think we've had another retirement actually. That would be the Ferrari. Yes, that is the Ferrari of Muzzy, unfortunately retiring the car there. Could have been a disconnection, I'm not too sure at the moment. That could have been what the yellow flags were for. But here we go, Leg having to do some defensive work now, but Oulton Park, such a narrow track. It's quite easy to defend here. Swiss Rolls had a look up the inside coming to Shell Oils, but he wasn't able to get the move done. Look how close Santos is now to these two up ahead. If these two make a mistake, Santos is going to be right there to get any positions. And Bion now very close to W as well. We'll keep an eye on that delta. But these three still spaced out slightly. Just bear with me a second. But yeah, back to the race then. Swiss Rolls still in the thick of it all. He's got Leg in front of him, and he's lost some time to Leg actually. Santos is very close behind him, coming down in towards turn 2. Now down towards Island Bend here. Oh, bit of grass there picked up by Swiss Rolls, and he's lost the position to Santos, and Santos up a position into P5. And now, oh, Swiss Rolls very late on the brakes. I think he's off track now. He's got it going once again. Now Santos is going to look to close that gap down to Leg just up in front. Bion was within a second to W, but he seems to have dropped back slightly. Just kicking up some grass there on the inside. Bentley's able to take the curbs here at Oulton Park, one of the bumpiest tracks on the calendar. Now coming down towards the final corner here. Barnes closing the gap slightly, 8 tenths between the two. But he's not able to get close enough to get a move done here.
We are halfway
W still holding his own, but Bion, he had the pace in the early stage of the race. Now W has seen the delta closing down. He's been able to pick up the pace here. Oh, actually it's dropped down to 0.6. So Bion is catching up here in Sector 2 now. Coming through Shell Oil's corner. Looks like the Lamborghini of W has gained slightly. You can look, see how bumpy Oulton Park is coming through this first chicane here. Both cars bouncing. And Bion is ever so close now, coming down towards Sector 3. Can W hold on? 14 minutes of the race left to go. W is going to try and hold on, but Bion's definitely got the pace advantage here. It's going to be a long 14 minutes here for W if he's going to have to defend. But Oulton Park, like I said earlier, one of the narrowest tracks on the calendar. W just needs to put his car in the right places, and that Bentley of Bion won't be able to get past at all. But now we've got a few more battles. Looks like Baptista and the Devilson going side by side. Devilson going to try it around the outside. Going to go for the switchback. No, he hasn't got it done there. And Baptista's going to hold on just about. Devilson's going to try it around the outside, but that's not going to work here at Oulton Park. Very narrow through Shell Oils. And Baptista's just held on. Let's switch back to Miss Santos, who's closed the gap to Leg now. He's looking for a top 4 finish here from Miss Santos. It's going to be a recovery drive from him, but a great one to say the least. And I thought he got a bit of a wiggle there, but I think it's just the latency issues. It's coming through Shell Oil's corner now. Not really anywhere to get the move done. Look at the gap between Bion. Oh, W's made a huge mistake. Oh, and he's into the wall. Wasn't able to keep it out, and he's going to pick up some damage as a result. That promotes Bion into P2. And there didn't look like there was any contact there. Looks like W just lost it on his own. And unfortunately he's going to drop down a position. But Miss Santos glued to the rear bumper of Leg, looking to make this move here. But at the moment there's nowhere to do it, no space. He's really trying. I think if he gets the better exit coming down towards the final corner, he may have a look up the inside, but Leg keeping his car in the middle of the track. I think he may be able to hold on here for another lap. Yes, he will. And Tord into the pits for some reason. W into the pits also. That's going to be due to his damage. Tord looks like he's stopped in the pit lane for some reason. So drivers are pitting. I'm not sure why. Well, I do know why, but I have told them not to. So we'll see what the race results are after this. Leg now still holding on to P3. Well, that's Tord with a stop-go 30. We will have to remove that because pit stops. But we'll work it out after tonight. And let's just focus on the racing for now. Looks like Leg still able to hold on. He's doing a good job here because the Mercedes of Miss Santos is visibly quicker. And he's gone deep coming through this second chicane. That's going to allow Miss Santos around the outside. He's got the move done there. Just applied the pressure to Leg, and Leg finally cracked under the pressure and made a mistake there. So Miss Santos up into P3. I'm sure he's going to be happy about that, with not having the best start to the race. Leg not able to respond there. He's dropped off slightly now. Let's see if he can just keep Miss Santos within sights here. Largo, back to the race leader, he's got nothing to worry about. He does have the number 5 car of Baptista behind him, but he is a lap down after his incident, or his pit stop, for what I assume would be damage repairs. You can see here now, Leg not able to keep with the Santos. Gap is about a second, oh, more than a second. Now, what's happened to Leg? He's made a mistake somewhere. 2.6 seconds to Dos Santos. He has to be careful because Swiss Rolls is just 4 seconds behind him, which isn't a lot, because one mistake can result in more than 4 seconds. Yeah, but Swiss Rolls not enjoying that chicane at all. Just took too much curb on the inside, and that bottomed out his car. But oh, he looks like he's gone deep on the brakes once again. And there we go, yeah, he's going slow there. Just to avoid getting a track limit warning, I believe. That's what we like to see. Oh, he's gone wide once again. Yeah, really not enjoying Oulton Park here. He has some good battles early on. Field seems to be a bit spread out at the moment. Todd's still in the pits, I believe he's serving his stop go 30 here. Yeah, just 8 minutes left to go of the race here in Division 3. Looks like W, after his mistake, is closing up to the back of SR Pada just ahead. 3.2 seconds between these two drivers. It looks like the gap is coming down 2.3 seconds then to SR Pada. This is going to be a battle to look for in the final few laps of this race. Well, W being reserved, he did start towards the back, but he's looking to gain some points here tonight at Oulton Park. SR Pada struggling slightly. He's got some damage on that number 13 Nissan, so it's not going to help him through the corners. You can see that front bumper just slightly hanging off there. And that's definitely what's going to be losing him some time. W with a clean car, no damage on it at all, is going to have the advantage out of these two. Come up towards the final corner. The gap's definitely coming down. It says 1.9. It looks to be less than that as they cross the line. Let's see what the delta is now. It is under a second, 7 tenths between these two drivers. The W is really catching up. Coming down here. Coming to Island Bend. SR Pada's just holding on. W had a look. He's too far back to get alongside at the moment. Coming down to Shell Oils. You can't really go for a move there unless you're already alongside coming through Island Bend. And SR Pada's going to defend the line coming towards the chicane. Yes, he is. No room there for overtaking either. And W just has to focus on the exit here. That's all you have to do. Let's try focus on the exit and not break, not go for the inside on the corner. It's all about the exit here at Oulton Park. That's where you get the move zone. You see there, W had a look up the inside. He's lost some time, but SR Pada's made a mistake. You can see his car jumping there on the exit curb. Somehow it's still intact. But W now, as a result, is all over the back of him once again. He's going to try for a move. Oh, SR Pada almost losing the car there on the exit curb. W is going to have a look up the inside coming towards the final corner. SR Padda is going to try and hold the outside. There we go, SR Padda. Great defensive driving from him. Holding it around the outside. But W is going to have a look coming to turn one a bit too far back to make that move. And SR Padda holds on once again. So a good driving, really good driving from the both of these two drivers. W not able to get the move done coming into the first chicane then. Down towards Knickerbrook. Well, here's Lops and then Knickerbrook, but looks like W being a bit more patient now. Just waiting for SR Padda to make a mistake. And SR Padda himself has also picked up the pace here. He's responding to the pressure. White flag ahead. That's possibly a slow car. But I don't see any slow cars on track at the moment. We've got the 710 car of Swiss Rolls. He seems to be going okay. But this is the battle we want to be watching. Looks like W still there. SR Padda is actually slightly pulling away now, I think. Now coming down the start-finish straight. Just managing the gap about 6/10 between the two. And SR Padda needs to be careful though, he doesn't want to make any mistakes here in the final few laps. That could be a disaster for him. Let's hope I haven't cursed him, because we've seen a curse already, commentator's curse already earlier on in this race. Can't even get my words out. But I think up ahead that may be Tord, who's a back marker currently. Oh, a bit wide there from SR Padda. That's lost him some time. He's going to have to go defensive coming to the chicane, but no, not enough room for either of these drivers to go too wide. And SR Padda's made a mistake. He's tagged the inside curb for the second part of the chicane. It's allowed W to get the exit. He's going to have the inside for the next corner. Moved over to the racing line. SR Padda extremely close behind him. And oh, he's outbraked himself as well. But a W upper position up into P5 and SR Padda down into P6. So a good move there from W. And oh, we've had a I think we've had a disconnection. Lager's what's happened to Lager? He's disconnected from the lobby. He's leading the race. He has completed over 75%, so he's still going to get points, but not for P1 unfortunately. Bion has taken the lead. That's really unfortunate for Lager, disconnected from the lobby. And there's nothing we can really do about that unfortunately. He was leading the race. That's really unfortunate for Lager, because that would have been his, I think his first win. Just double check the standings here. Where is Lager? Yes, it would have been his first win. He's had a third place, he's had a second place, and tonight would have been a first. But unfortunately, the sim racing, the internet gods, not in his favour tonight. And this puts Bion up into the lead. We're going to have one more lap after Bion crosses the line here. There we go, leaders on the final lap, and all the drivers who haven't pitted will pick up a penalty, but we'll remove that since the pit stops shouldn't have been there. We're just watching Bion now for this final lap. Let's actually see if we can go on board with him, just to see how he takes the circuit here. That's the wrong camera, there we go, on board in the Bentley of Bion. Tucks it in nicely, coming through Shell Oils. And and now down towards Britain's. Can take quite a lot of that inside curve there. Can buy on in the Bentley. The Bentley completely ignores the curves. Coming towards Hilltop and then Hislops and then Knickerbrook. The second chicane here at Oulton Park. Oh, really takes a lot of the inside there. He was up on his time slightly, but with the car bouncing that much, you lose some time as a result. Now coming up towards Clay Hill and Druid's corner. I know he's missed a second apex there slightly. That's not going to help, but he doesn't need to worry here because he's going to cross the start-finish line in P1. There we go, Bayern finishing in P1. Miss Santos still got a bit to go. He's going to finish in P2 there. Don't worry about the 130-second penalty. We'll take that off at the end of the race. But here we go, Miss Santos about to cross the line in second. Devilson finishing in P8. Play champion P9. Miss Santos crossing the line in seconds then. We've got Leg in P3. He's about to cross the line. There we go, Leg in P3. Good result from him. Swiss Rolls crossing the line in P4W. It's going to cross the line in P5. SR Padder holding on to... No, he's made a mistake somewhere actually. SR Padder's... no, he hasn't, sorry. Yes, he did make a mistake when battling with W. But he's going to finish in P6. Baptista still a bit to go. Going through the final corner now. It's going to finish in P7. Devilson in P8. Clay Champ in P9. Tord in P10. And Largo will get points for P11. Since he wasn't able to finish. But those aren't the official results. And we'll get them sorted out tomorrow, obviously. But back to Division 2, and we'll see you shortly.
Waste another day, eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. You mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time. Buying things online and it's not like we need them. We don't need them. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow We were on the run, rocking around the clock. Now all we need is right here in front of us. In front of us. So can we just slow follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this unlove, cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you.
sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Birds jumping and I hear my name, grasping into a life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah. Lion's gonna come. The birds have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young. For the animals we stand. Let's go back to when trees were swung. Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world, Savannah. Let's all take a walk, Savannah. I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world, Savannah. Let's all take a walk. Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah.
You stole my heart of gold after my silver soul. Can you dig any deeper now? I gave you all I own, put you on this golden throne, but I'm a little stronger now.
Right, welcome back everyone to Division 2, and hopefully this time there's no pit stop. For some reason the server, even after saving and restarting, wasn't updating, so that would have been the cause of the pit stops in Division 3. But let's hope it all is sorted out now in Division 2 here. No one able to set a lap time yet, still raining in the qualifying session once again. So similar conditions to what we've seen in Division 3. Track is greasy at the moment, and I know a lot of drivers don't like these mixed conditions, as in they prefer it either fully wet or fully dry, and not in between where it's greasy. And it's hard to choose which tyres to go on, because slicks will be too cold and wets get too hot. But I think if you can manage the wets and keep them on lower tyre pressures to start off with, manage them for your out lap, and then go for a hot lap, you should be okay here at Oulton Park. But 6 minutes left to go of qualifying. No one able to put in a time yet, I say that. And Hoshi puts it into provisional pole, the first time to come in at 142.807. There we go, quicker. Tayson Tom puts it into P1 at 140.791. And coming into this round, let's take a look at the standings. So currently leading Nino Tobin, who's in the number 19 Porsche, a very strong car around Oulton Park, but he's leading on 225 points. And then Tayson Tom, who's currently on provisional pole, is on 222 points, so 3-point difference coming into round 5 here between Tayson Tom and Nino Tobin. So extremely close. And then we've got in third in the championship Grimjaw ST and SVVKC, who's actually not going out and qualifying for some reason. There we go. They're both tied on points. They're both tied on 128 points. 97 points behind the championship leader, Nino Tobin. But the battle for the final podium spot is definitely on. Hoshi also on 110. So he's 18 points behind SVVKC and Grimjaw. So not too far off at all here. And I think as the session goes on, it's maybe a bit more difficult to get quicker times because the track will become wetter and wetter. There we go, we've got, I think that's SMT Zaloba now joining the lobby. And he's not got much time to qualify at all here. The track's still greasy, 18 degrees. And looks like there's only 4 times in so far. It's quite easy to invalidate your lap time here as well. I know we saw at Paul Ricard yesterday on the PC side of things, a few drivers picking up drive-throughs, and well, oh, Armobic getting very sideways there. And that's going to be his lap invalidated. I think that's the main thing here in the greasy conditions, to just try and get in a banker lap, and then you can go for a hot lap here, because you run the risk of not setting lap at all, which could be devastating to some of these drivers' races. But coming up towards the line is Diff, rounding off the final corner, the 255 Ferrari. Let's see if he can set a lap time here. Crosses the line and there we go, puts it into P4, 3.6 seconds off. So that's his first valid lap time then, just a banker lap for him. Looks like Grimjaw puts it into pole position, provisional pole, sorry, 140.54. Good lap there from the Audi driver, the only Audi on track at the moment in Division 2. Got three Lamborghinis, 2 Bentleys, TTK coming across the line. Not able to put in a lap time yet. Number 7 car of Cobb also not on the lap in the number 7 Lamborghini. But he won't be sitting a lap, he's going to be on a lap this time. Hoshi, I think he improved his time there, puts it in to P3, or still in P3. TFJ in the 87 Nissan puts it up into P3 now. The Nissan seem to be performing quite well here tonight. We saw SR Pada in Division 3 doing a good job in the Nissan. But a bit of sliding there from TFJ. Just using the slip angle of the car to get the better cornering speed. Yellow flags for some reason. I think that may be someone returning back to the pits. 73 car of SMT Zaloba is on his outlap. He's crossing the line now, but now he's going to be on his first flying lap here. Jason Tom's still out on track. Looks like that is the 97 car of SVVKC pulling over to let the fast cars through, since he's not on a hot lap at the moment. Good racing etiquette for him. That's exactly what we like to see. A 255 car of Diff also not on a lap day. Must have invalidated it somewhere. Now Armobic crossing the line is going to be a time for him. Yes, it is. Put it into P8, 4.9 seconds off. Tayson Tom still coming around the track. Where is Nino Tobin, number 19, coming up into Shell Oils now? But he's got some improvement to do. He's 2.5 seconds off. The Porsche, a very strong car here at Oulton Park, but maybe he's not had as much practice as he'd like to. We've got the number 7 car now of Cobb crossing the line, and he puts it into P6 there, 3.8 seconds off. So at least he's been able to set a lap time here. You have one more chance. I think this will be his last lap. And then the number, I think that's 87 of TFJ. He must have been validated somewhere because he's not on a flying lap anymore. There we go, across the line. This will be his last chance also to improve. 433 is Dimagiusto, also not on a flying lap. I believe he must have been validated somewhere as well, but he's got also one last chance It's going to be quite tight for some of these drivers. 73 is on lap. SMT Zaloba. Let's see what he can do here. As he crosses the line, where does this put him? Put him up into P6 there. 2.7 seconds off. So good lap there from Zaloba. And then the number 19 car of Nino Tolbert just crossing the line. Wasn't able to improve. Hoshi still in P4. And he's returned to the pits exactly 1.5 seconds off. 2.55. Diff is about to climb across the line. Let's see if he can aim for an improvement here. Across the line, puts it into P6. There we go. 2.5 seconds off. And I'm sure he's going to be happy with that. The number 97 car. Oh, where's that gone? SVVKC. There we go. That's his qualifying session over. But manages to put in a good time there. Puts it into provisional P3. With pretty much, I think, just one lap. One hot lap, really. Now TTK, 4.2 seconds off. Mercedes, a good car here around Oulton Park. As he crosses the line, is it an improvement? Yes, it is. Puts it into P9. And the number 7 car, Cobb, puts it into P6 as he crosses the line. Good lap there for him. Now just watching Dim Adjuster. He's still got a bit to go. He's just entered Sector 3, as has SMT Zaloba in the 73 Bentley. They're coming up towards the final corner here, Lodge Corner. Oh, I like to consider this the final corner. This next little kink coming down the straight is also considered as one, but I don't like to count it as a corner. And there we go, Dim Adjuster putting it up into P9. Where is SMT Zaloba? Crosses the line, puts it into P6. So a last minute improvement there from Zaloba, puts him into P6. Good lap there from him. But here are the qualifying results. Grimjaw in first, Tasting Tom in second, and SVVKC in third. Make sure to stay tuned because we'll be back for the race shortly. There we go then, drivers lining up on the grid for the 30-minute race here at Division 2 at Oulton Park. And track is fast at the moment, dry, which is what some of the drivers may be hoping for. And a bit of cloud coverage here. Track a bit warmer than it was in Division 3. 21 degrees, I think Division 3 was 18. But definitely on a fast track here in Division 2. Grip isn't great. On such a narrow track, it's quite difficult to keep
30 seconds.
the tyres up to temp. And within that window.
seconds.
But yeah, some of the drivers have been struggling with the grip, I think, on fast track during practice. So we will see here during the
10
race
seconds.
how it bodes for them. But just going to go on the formation lap. There we go. There's no mandatory pit stop, so that's obviously been fixed magically somehow. But good to see that we have no issues here in Division 2. Let's get your predictions in the comments. Who you think is going to be finishing in the top 3 at the end of this race? It's quite hard to tell at the moment, but let's throw some hard predictions out. And Nino topping down in P8, not the best qualifying session for him. And he's battling with Tyson Tom, who's currently qualified in P2. And with just a few points difference between the two in the championship. 3 points difference between the two. It's not going to be great for Nino. He needs to gain as many positions as he can, really. And it's possibly going to be damage limitation for him, but let's not say anything. Let's not give out another commentator's curse. So we saw that happen in Division 3, and yep, I'm not proud of it. And here we go, Grimjaw. All the drivers just trying to get some heat into their tyres, heat into the brakes. Oh no, we've lost the driver there already. Could it be a disconnection? Possibly. That's not good. Who have we lost? I think we lost TTK, unfortunately. Let's hope you can join back. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened to him. Let's hope he can get back in the lobby. There is time to do so. But unfortunately, he'll be starting from the pits then. We've got in the comments Kenny saying Nino to win, Tyson Tom in second, and Sniff in third. It's going to be quite tough for Nino to get through the pack on such a narrow track. But that's SVW also in the comments saying, how can it be dry? Again, that's the nature of weather here at Oulton Park. UK weather, you can never expect what it's going to do. But qualifying is on a Saturday, and racing is on a Sunday, so the conditions can be different. Drivers lining up 2 by 2 now. Getting ready for the race start. Tyson, Tom and Grimjaw lining up in the front row. I think this may be Grimjaw's first pole position here in Division 2. But we'll see what it comes to coming down into the first corner. Let's hope they can keep it clean. And we are green now. There we go. Drive through for Demijusta. That would be for position on start. So he's out of position there. And he's going to have to serve there. Oh, Tyson Tom picking up the curb on the inside. And unfortunately losing the car. Not really any fault of his own, but just took a bit too much curb on the inside, and I think Demijusta got caught up in that, unfortunately, so he wasn't able to avoid that. And yeah, apart from that, I think everyone else has made it through cleanly. That's promoted some of the drivers up a few positions. Nino is above SVVKC now, so let's see once the... Oh no, he's not. He's behind, sorry. He is above SMT Zaloba though. I think that puts him in P4 there. Because SMT Zaloba is behind him, and Nino's going to have another look on... I believe that's it. No, that is Zaloba, sorry. He's going to have a look on. He's going to try around the outside. No, I'm getting confused. That's KC, sorry. Tried the move on SVVKC, but that didn't work out. He's had to back off of that move. Grimjaw still in the lead. He's opened up a slight gap, 1.4 seconds to Hoshi, who's now in P2. And Tyson Tom, after hitting the inside curb into turn 1 has dropped down. Good to see TTK back in the lobby as well. But the Ferrari, not the best car on the curbs. And he risked it a bit too much coming to turn 1, and it did cost him. See that? Oh, car in the background. I think that was SMT's Lobber getting a bit loose on the exit curb. And he's rejoined safely, which is good to see. But TFJ very close behind him. He's got the better run coming down to turn 1. But no, too far back to get the move done. And Zaloba just about holds on. He's gone deep coming to turn 1 as well. And TFJ with a slight bit of damage in the front of that Nissan. And that possibly would have been for Taysom Tom's little mishap into turn 1. But it shouldn't affect him too much. Let's go back to the lead here. Grimjaw, Grimjaw's gap has come down. Look how close Hoshi, SVV, Casey and Nino all are. Hoshi's made a mistake coming out of Shell Oils. Can he keep it together? He's on the grass. Good thing he didn't hit the wall, but he's lost 2 positions as a result. And now he's got Cobb, Zaloba and TFJ and Diff all up the back of him now. He's going to have to do some recovery work here. And that's Cobb having a look up the outside. Now he's going to have the inside for the next corner, but I think Hoshi is slightly ahead. He may be able to hold on here. Yes, he does. So Hoshi still holding on to P4. Back to the battle for P1. SVV KC has now been promoted to second, and Nino up into P3 already. So Kenny's prediction may come right here. But Taysom Tom down in P10, so Nino may be the only one that is right on his prediction. And Grimjaw taking a bit too much curb on the inside. He's run wide. That promotes SVVKC into P1. Nino still in the back, not able to capitalise. So Grimjaw, after qualifying on pole position, has lost the lead of the race. Grimjaw's going to need to defend from Nino Tobin coming up towards Shell Oils here. He's kept it within the track limits, the white lines there. Hasn't gone deep on the brakes, which is quite easy to do. Nino Tobin very close behind the Porsche, very good car here in the dry. And Hoshi just making his way back up now. He's opened a slight gap to Cobb up behind, but Cobb with exceptional pace here during the opening few laps at Oulton Park. It looks like Taysom Tom is extremely close to Armobic. He's going to have a look. Nope, he's not going to have a look. He's going to stay there behind Armobic. Good driving from Taysom Tom. Oh, there's the bollard, almost taking out Taysom Tom there. Would not want to be in the driver's seat, but Armobic goes wide. He's going to pick up some grass, and that's allowed Taysom Tom up into P9. Gap to top has increased. SVVKC putting in the laps now. Says about a second, but I think it's come down a bit. SVVKC taking too much curb on the inside to that final corner. Almost lost the car, but that's Delta's not going to be a second. There we go, down to 6/10. Nino Tobin is really putting on the pressure to Grimjaw, though Grimjaw's made another mistake coming to turn 1, and that's going to promote Nino up into P2. Great start here to the race for Nino, but that inside curb in turn 1 is really not proving great for a lot of these drivers. Or Taysom Tom on lap 1 taking that inside curb, and he dropped all the way down the order as a result. Grimjaw also, he's hit that inside curb twice and his car's bottomed out, so he's lost quite a few positions. Hoshi is really catching up now after that mistake he made earlier on, and he definitely seems to have the pace advantage over these two ahead. I'm not sure about compared to SVVKC, but it's definitely close, because he's pretty much involved in this battle once again. Hoshi doing an amazing job in that number 15 McLaren. The McLaren not the best car at Oulton Park, but it's definitely still competitive. TFJ now is quite close to SMC Zaloba once again. Gap says 8 tenths, and Diff has got Tyson Tom all over the back of him. Tyson Tom qualifying on the front rows, now in P9. He's going to have a look up the inside, too far back to make the move on a fellow Ferrari driver there, coming through the final corner now. But he needs to focus on the exit here. And Diff going defensive, coming down to turn 1, back over to the racing line. And I think he's going to hold on here. Let's hope he doesn't take that inside curb. Oh, he did. He's managed to keep the car under control. Tyson Tom now really... Oh, Tyson Tom's made contact with Diff. He's going to have to return that position. And let's hope he does. He's rejoined the track there. And where is Diff? Diff just rejoining now. I don't think Tyson Tom... looks like he's not going to return that position. So possibly... Diff may report that to the stewards, but we'll have a look if he does or not. Tyson Tom obviously not thinking he's in the wrong there, so he's going to keep on to P8. Hoshi right in the back of Grimjaw now. Grimjaw has lost time to Nino Top, and Nino's pulled a 2-second gap to Grimjaw, and he is keeping within a second there to SVVKC. So the Porsche now, Nino as well, getting into the groove of things. And it's really putting in the lap times. Because he's closing the gap to KC there. Mobic, after Tyson Tom's mistake, the gap did say 9 tenths. It's much larger than that now. Diff has got going once again. And that's TTK just up ahead, who's 2 laps down after his disconnection. But he's back in the lobby. So that's good to see. But KC, oh, big mistake there. As soon as we flick over to him, that's coming through turn 1, and I think he managed to... Oh, he did hit the wall there, and he's lost the position. Nino Tobin up into P1, and Kenny's prediction has come correct, but still 21 minutes left to go. Plenty of time for things to go wrong here. He's going to have to do some defending work now, because Casey is all over the back of him. He needs to be careful coming through the chicanes. Look at how much curb that Bentley can take, and even some grass as well. Doing some lawn mowing here, just some track maintenance. But SVV Casey, it's not going to help his tyres. He's definitely keeping up to Nino here. Nino hasn't been able to pull away at all. Gap is still about 4 tenths, but he's run wide, has SVVKC ever so slightly. The Bentley just ignoring the curbs completely. It's managed to take them. Usually you see a few cars jumping up in the air in that corner where SVVKC went wide. And that was out of, I believe that was coming through Knickerbrook, where he ran wide. But Nino been able to open the gap slightly after SVV's mistake. Hoshi has got past Grimjaw, so that didn't update for us. But there we go, he's got past. And as soon as they cross the finish line, it's put Hoshi into P3. But we would have liked to see that battle. Hoshi's going to try and catch up to SVV and Nino up ahead, but he's got quite a gap to go. 4.2 seconds, I think it was, 4.5 seconds there to SVV up in front, and he's already managed to gap Grimjaw coming through Island Bend and down to Shell Oil's corner. But Hoshi doing a good job after his mistake. I think it was coming through this very chicane here, and he's kept it clean this time around. Nino has been pulling a slight gap to SVVKC, and he needs to be careful of that curb on the inside and on the outside as well, because the Porsche can do the same. But he has been pulling that gap. It was 1.2. Let's see what it is once they cross the next sector line. I think SVVKC's made a huge mistake there. He's definitely hit the wall. You can see the damage on the front end of that Bentley. He's going to have to wait for the cars, the oncoming cars, to get past, and he's got it round. There we go. But a huge mistake. He's jumped all the way down to P7, lost another position, P8, and Mobic is going to get past him as well. That's quite some severe damage on the front of that Bentley there. SVV Casey lost the car somewhere, and he's not going to be happy with that. He's running in a solid P2, and a diff into the pits now, possibly due to damage repairs. I'm not sure why. He's running in a good position there, but it could have been damage. And Hoshi is very close to the back of Grimjaw now. Grimjaw's made a mistake somewhere as well. Oh no, sorry. Hoshi's lost the position, so Grimjaw's up into P2. And Nino's got a comfortable lead now in P1, 7 seconds to Grimjaw in P2. But SVV Casey in the pits for his damage repairs then. Let's hope Diff can continue, although it's going to count as another DNF on his race result. And obviously three DNFs or three absences will get you removed from the championship, so let's hope he can continue here. It looks like TFJ is close to Taste and Tom. I think Taste and Tom may have got that move done on TFJ. And yeah, TFJ about 6 tenths. I think that's increased. It's about a second and a bit now to Taste and Tom up ahead. There we go, 1.8 seconds. Gap between Hoshi and Grimjaw says 8 tenths. It's slightly less than that. 9 tenths, sorry. Slightly less than that. It's across the 9. It's going to update any second now. There we go, 6 tenths between these two drivers. Hoshi had the pace, but I think he's making a few mistakes here. Grimjaw's got it back together now. He's got into the groove of things. And he's all warmed up, and now he's been able to slightly pull away from Hoshi. But I say that, and Grimjaw's got a compromise exit there. Coming through Cascades. And Hoshi's going to have a look up the inside. Grimjaw's going to try and keep it around the outside. Grimjaw's going to have the inside for the Shell Oils, but Hoshi's kept it around the outside. A bit of grass there for Grimjaw. And I think Hoshi has got the position done. Great move there by Hoshi around the outside through Shell Oils. And I don't think we've seen that here today at all. So a really good move by Hoshi. Just keeping it around the outside. And giving Grimjaw just enough room there. And that promotes Hoshi back up into P2. It's going to be some good points for him if he can keep it there. And Taste of Tom starting P1. Starting P2, sorry. Has dropped down into P7 after his mistake. And Nino, starting I believe it was P8, has made it up into P1, so pretty much a reverse in positions there between the two. And Nino's going to extend his championship lead here if he can keep it together. Still 15 minutes left to go, so plenty of time, but we shall see. Mobic in P8, he's closing up to the back of Taste of Tom. Taste of Tom's made a mistake somewhere. TFJ's got past him. And his race has gone from bad to worse. He's run slightly wide there through the final corner. Right, he just needs to try and keep it together here.
We are at the halfway mark.
Let's go halfway into the race now. Grimjaw, where is he at the moment? He's dropping back slightly to Hoshi. And they've got Cobb closing in now. Cobb is 1.8 seconds back. SFT Zaloba very close to SVVKC. He's into the pits once again. I'm not sure what's happened to SVKC. I don't know if it's fuel or... because I'm sure he's repaired that damage. But Mobic catching up to the back of TFJ. Taste of Tom's made another mistake, and he's got... who's he got behind him? I think that's the 433 car, Dim Adjuster, and the 255 car of Diff very close behind him. So Taste of Tom hasn't been able to keep it together in the second half of this race. He's made quite a few mistakes here, and obviously that damage he picked up from his mistake in turn 1 isn't going to help him at all. But Mobic, with another good performance, he's definitely been improving since he's joined us here in the SimZone. And his pace is improving every race, but he's battling for P6 here with TFJ. DFJ's just about hanging on here. Armobic doing a great job. SMT Zaloba now on the back of Cobb. Looks like Zaloba's got the pace advantage here over Cobb. Cobb was slightly catching. Oh, SVVKC with a drive-through as well. So not only has he had to pit twice, he's picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And now SMT Zaloba is on the back of Cobb. Yeah, like I said, he's definitely got the pace advantage here in the second half of the race. But whether or not he can make the move, we've got a bit of a wiggle on the exit of Shell Oils. And that's not going to help his run coming down towards the chicane here. And yeah, like I was saying, Cobb was about a second and a half off to Grimjaw up ahead. But by battling with SMT Zaloba, they've lost another second and a half. And Zaloba much quicker there through the second chicane. Coming up towards Druid's Corner now. And I think Zaloba's still just going to hold on to P5 here. He's not going to have a look at the moment, but I think he may have... Nah, he seems to be equal there on the exit with Cobb. And he won't have a look coming down into the final corner here. But look how close he is, coming under on the brakes. He's definitely closer than he was before. Takes the Tom into the pits. He definitely can't continue with that damage. He's repairing his damage there. But Zaloba, oh, very close coming into turn one. Cobb's run a bit wide, but he's kept it together. He's going to have to go defensive now coming into Cascades. And Cobb just about holding on. Where is Zaloba? It's not alongside him yet, so Cobb doesn't have to worry about defending coming into Shell Oils. And neither will he have to coming into Britain's then. Yeah, SMT Zaloba a bit too far back. Grimjaw has not been able to keep up with Hoshi, and Nino Tobbins opened up an 11.5 second gap to Hoshi in P2. And I think he just needs to keep at it there, but the Bentley of Zaloba able to take much more curb through that second chicane, and that seems to be where he gains the time on Cobb up ahead. Lamborghini not able to take as much. Tayson Thompson still in the pits for some reason. He's gonna lose a few laps here, and he may not even pick up any points if he doesn't come back out. But look how close SMT Zaloba is in that final corner. He's much more confident on the brakes, and he's even closer than he was last time. Cobb's gonna have to go defensive. He thought about it. SMT Zaloba had to look up the inside. Cobb's left in the room. And it seems like it was a slight dummy that had paid off. Cobb left him the room, and there we go. Zaloba up into P4. Just took advantage there, had a slight dummy, a slight look up the inside, and Cobb fell for that. And then Zaloba took advantage, so good thinking there from Zaloba. And great driving, great racing etiquette from him. Gap at the top has increased slightly. I don't think Hoshi is really going to be able to catch up to the race leader here, Nino, unless he makes a mistake, but he doesn't have to push the car. He's got plenty of room, big enough buffer, and that's Tayson Tom retiring for the race, so he's not going to pick up any points here. That's unfortunate. But Cobb not been able to fight back. SMT Zaloba has opened up the gap to him. It's about a second and a bit now. Oh, 2 seconds actually to Zaloba. We've got another battle down here for P7. Dimmer just after his drive-through has kept it in P7. He's got some damage on the front of that car, but he's got past Armobic. Oh, Armobic with a huge mistake there into the chicane. He needs to be careful rejoining. He's got Diff right behind him. There we go. And Diff gets the position up into P8. Just capitalising on Armobic's mistake. SVVKC on the back of these guys as well. So after his 2 pit stops and a drive-through penalty, he's currently running in P10, but he's looking to make some moves. He definitely has the pace. As we saw, he was in the top 3 really during the start of the race. So he's definitely got the pace to get past the drivers further down the field. I say that, and he's very loose through the final corner. I'm not sure how he kept that, surprisingly. But what a save from him. SVVKC. Oh, that's DeedeeTKU having a look on TFJ. It looked like they were side by side, but they weren't. DeedeeTKU's really trying everything he can to get past, but TFJ doing a great job of defending. And on narrow tracks like this, you just need to block the inside. Just place your car exactly where it needs to be. If those two keep battling, actually, Diff and KC are going to catch up, but it looks like Diff has made a mistake going through the chicane, and KC says thank you to that position. But I think Diff's best bet is to follow the faster driver to be able to catch up to the 2 ahead and possibly gain a few more positions. You can see in the background that is Mobic. For some reason the sheets haven't updated. But hopefully once they cross the next sector line it will. No, it hasn't. Ah, that's why, because Casey and Diff are 3 laps down, sorry. So they're both a lap down on the drivers up ahead. 3 laps down, actually. So our Mobic, DeedeeTKU, TFJ are all on a different lap to these guys. That does explain things. But that was KC almost losing the car once again, coming through turn 1. He's catching up to the back of the drivers up ahead of him. He is allowed to unlap himself, and if I were DeedeeTKU, I'd let him pass. I think he's doing so here. KC having a look up the inside. DeedeeTKU, there we go, tucks back in. I think his best bet also is to follow KC through, because if KC goes for a move on TFJ, DeedeeTKU could possibly follow him through and get the position as well. It looks like TFJ is going defensive. Casey's going to have focus on the better exit here. Come through Britain's, and a bit of a wiggle on the exit. TFJ going defensive once again. I think he has space to go back onto the racing line. No, he doesn't. Ignore what I said there. A bit of contact between the two, and Casey's going to have to cut across the track there. And he's come out in front. But it doesn't really matter since he is a few laps down, and I think that possibly would play in the favour of TFJ, but he's lost a few positions. He's lost a couple of positions to... He's lost a position to DeedeeTKU actually, so DeedeeTKU comes out in front. TFJ didn't really need to defend from KC. Could have just let him pass, they're on different laps. KC significantly quicker, but that's unfortunately lost TFJ a few positions just by trying to battle with a driver that wasn't really on the same lap. But there we go. Oh, DeedeeTKU with a huge mistake into turn 1. Is that going to allow Diff to get the run coming down towards Cascades? I don't think it will. TFJ is still behind Diff, but he's on a different lap. Keep getting confused with that. Diff isn't really battling for position here. His only rival at the moment is KC, who's about three or so seconds up ahead. We've got another battle going on for P4. Cobb is closed back up to Zaloba. It says 3/10, but it's a bit more than that. So I think Cobb may have made a slight mistake somewhere. 1.4 seconds now. So yeah, he has made a mistake somewhere. Keep an eye on the delta between these two. Just 4 minutes left of the race though, and Nino Tobu, after starting qualifying down in P8, has got back up to P1, and it just shows it doesn't really matter where you qualify. Oh, we've had another disconnection there, I think. I think that may have been... That was Diff. I think that's probably his internet as well, because he was out on track. So yeah, his internet has unfortunately failed him. Definitely not the day for internet gods today. But he's not going to be... he may be scoring some points, 75% of the race completed, so he should be okay here for Division 2. But let's see, the next closest battle on track, TFJ and DeedeeTKU. TFJ is not too far behind, 1.9 seconds. But he's got some damage on the front of that Nissan. And yellow flag somewhere. Oh, there is a yellow flag. Who is that? That's the number 97 car of SVVKC, who's made another mistake coming into Shell Oils. Oh, that would have been through... is it Island Bend? Yes, it is Island Bend. Yeah, I think he must have gone wide there. And oh, that's severe damage on the Bentley once again. I think he's going to have to limp back to the pits because he cannot continue like that. Yep, he's definitely going to have to limp back. And not the best race for KC today. I think he may have been pushing the car a bit too much slightly. And he's lost it through Island Bends. Looks like Diff is back in the lobby, so that's good to see. But unfortunately disconnected. We've got GRB SRP. Is this game open world driving on Xbox? No, it's not. It's a simulator. Is Assetto Corsa Competizione. And we don't do Xbox, unfortunately, just PlayStation and PC. SVVKC is really going to have to limp back to the pits here. He's got a few cars lapping him. That's Nino Tobin, who's just gone past. And TTK coming up as well behind him. I think this may be for position as well. I think TTK is going to get past. And there we go. After SVVKC's mistake, TTK has got up into P10. Leader is on the final lap now, so Nino Tobin will be on the final lap here. And he hasn't put a foot wrong ever since he's got into the lead. His car's been in pristine condition. No damage whatsoever. And he's made the moves where he needs to. Took advantage of other drivers' mistakes. And he's got up into P1, so Kenny's prediction has come true. At least for one of them. Nino Tobin P1. And I thought that definitely wouldn't happen, but it did. And he's qualified down in P8, so making it up into P1 is very impressive on such a tight track, tight and narrow track like Oulton Park. TFJ now losing some bit more time to DeedeeTKU. I don't think that battle's going to continue on the final lap unless DeedeeTKU makes a mistake, but let's hope he doesn't here. Just currently on board. Nino Tobin coming up towards the final corner now. Flash of the lights from him. I think he knows he's being watched here on stream. But coming through the final corner. And now up towards the line. Finishing in P1. Great result there for Nino Tobin. Extending his championship lead for Division 2. Finishing in P1. Hoshi coming across the line in P2. He's actually coming up to the final corner now. But a good race there from Hoshi. Made a slight mistake early on, but managed to grab the position back. P2 for Hoshi. Flash of lights from him as well. Grimjaw, after qualifying on pole position, he made a mistake into turn 1 2 times in a row, but P3, definitely some good points there for Grimjaw, finishing on the podium. And another flash of the lights from him. SMT Zaloba crossing the line in P4. Good result from him also. Cobb as well with a solid P5 crossing the line. There we go. DeedeeTKU has got a bit to go, but he'll be finishing in P6. Let's hope he doesn't make any mistakes. it's not over yet. There's still a corner to go. There we go, he's kept it clean through the final corner. Then we're just finishing P6, TFJ in P7, Armobic. Flash of lights there from TFJ, Armobic in P8, DeedeeTKU in P9. And then we'll wait for Armobic to cross the line, so then we can see the full results here for Division 2. There we go, he crosses the line. Here are the full results. So Armobic P8, TTK P9, SVVKC P10, Diff P11, and Tyson Tom retiring in P12. So we won't pick up any points for that. There you have it, top 3. Nino Tobin, Hoshi in P2, and Grimjaw in P3. Make sure to stay tuned because we'll be back for Division 1.
Waste another day, eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. You mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online, and it's not like we need them. We don't need them. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I were safe and sound. And we just slow down. For you and I were safe and sound. We were on the run, rocking around the clock. Now all we need is right here in front of us. In front of us. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I were safe and sound. Can we just slow down? And we just slow waste another day. I don't wanna play. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online, it's not like we need them. Safe and just follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this love, cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. I don't know where I am, I don't know where you take me, I don't know where you take me. I just follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this love, cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Birds chirping and I hear my name, grasping into life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a strive. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah. Lion's gonna come. The birds have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young. For the animals we stand. Let's go back to when trees were swung. Kids across the land. Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world, Savannah. Let's all take a walk, Savannah. I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world, Savannah. Let's all take a walk. Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah.
You stole my heart of gold after my silver soul. Can you dig any deeper now? I gave you all I own, put you on this golden road, but I'm a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now.
Always been a black sheep, living in a daydream, in too deep, in too deep. I'ma give you everything, I'ma give you everything, forever everything. You want me go no sleep, gonna keep it all G, on the same team, same damn team. Tell my body 6 feet, I'ma give you everything, forever everything. I'm that off the phone Cadillac, drive like a maniac, killer like Zodiac. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shot to your cardiac, till the end, got your back, even when you're gonna crash. I'm still gonna ride with you, ride with you, ride with you. You know I'd die for you, die for you, die for you. Put it all on the line for you, just to keep it bulletproof. Stay with me tonight, I'll be your alibi. I'll be your alibi. Ready for the backlash, Sarah Connor combat. I'll be back, I'll be back. I'ma give you all I have, I'ma give you all I have, forever all I have. Keep you in my habitat, dedication to the max, never change that, won't change that. I'ma give you all I have, I'ma give you all I have, forever all I have. Yeah, we're different from the masses, we go back Jurassic, baby we're classic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. With you to the casket, mellow the dramatic, even through the madness. Yeah, I'm still gonna ride with you, ride with you, ride with you. You know I'd die for you, die for you, die for you. Put it all on the line for you, just to keep it bulletproof. Stay with me tonight, I'll be your alibi. I'll be your alibi. I'm still gonna ride with you, ride with you, ride with you. You know I'd die for you, die for you, die for you. Put it all on the line for you, just to keep you bulletproof. Stay with me tonight, I'll be your alibi. You always want what you can't have, and what you have you can. But still my heart, the moment I laid eyes on it. Well, how do you know how you will feel when everything changes? This fear, where will I go? Know you mean? How will I know the one for me? Well, how do you know? Well, how do you know how you really feel when everything changes? Where will I go? Where will you be? How will I How do you know how you really feel when everything
Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, here for Division 1. We started this qualifying session dry, and it was expected to rain within the last 5 minutes, but there you go, you can see a few water droplets on the screen already. So I think whoever's been going to be able to set a dry lap as soon as possible is going to be on pole position. This could mix things up. You may not even have the fastest driver out on track. It could just be whoever came out first of their pit box at the start of the qualifying session. You see that at the top right hand corner you have the weather, and it does say that it is raining now, and heavier rain expected in 10 minutes. It looks like Ithan the first to cross the line, Kenny 3 seconds off, Seuss now crossing the line there, currently setting the provisional pole time of 1:35.3. And the times may get slower after this. Track is going to go from optimum to damp, to greasy to damp very, very quickly. And at the moment, Seuss is still on the top of the qualifying session here. Just a flash of lights there from him. It wasn't a faster lap, but obviously the other Audi driver. That would be Windsor. Doesn't necessarily have to move out the way, but here we go. Kenny also on a fast lap, just up ahead. But this is definitely going to mix things up. You can see there, track down to fast. It's going to go from fast to greasy and then damp very, very quickly. Flash of lights there from Seuss. Kenny does not need to move out the way. Both these drivers are on a hot lap. And if Seuss does go down the inside, he's going to may cause a collision here. And it's not a race, it's just qualifying. And Kenny is on a hot lap here, so Seuss is going to settle back. And Kingy puts it on pole then. Track's going to get slower and slower now. And this could possibly be the best lap here in this qualifying session. And this is definitely going to mix things up a lot. Hanrahan in the pits. It doesn't seem like he's going to go out on track for some reason. May just want to start. I'm not sure. Maybe he's waiting for the rain. But he's not. Still in the pits. And Kingy coming up towards the line here. Let's see if there's any improvement from him. Lely into P2. But he's 1/10 up. Any improvement here for Kingy? Yes, it is. He does improve. And track is now fast. It's gone from optimum to fast. So I'm not sure if there's going to be much improvement for any of the other drivers here on track. Lely's returned to the pits then. Seuss has been knocked down to P3. We've got some yellow flags on track, possibly drivers returning to the pits. They know the track's getting wet now. You see there the McLaren of BST NNA really struggling there through the chicane. Lely's back out on track now. So in a hope in any hopes to improve that lap time. But BST slowing down, they're letting that would be one of Lexus drivers, Viper, through. And at the moment, coming into round 5, let's take a quick look at the standings. So we've got Melvin currently leading the championship on 216 points, followed by Viper on 195, a 21 points point difference between those two. And then we've got Kingy, who's currently on provisional pole on 152 points, 64 points behind. But this definitely could be the race for him to just bridge that gap down to 2nd and 3rd in the championship. Then you've got Lely, who's currently sitting in 2nd at the moment in this qualifying session. But he's on 152 points and 4th in the championship, so 70 points behind the championship leader Melvin, but only 6 points behind Kingy in P3. So the battle for P3 here in the championship definitely on. But as long as Kingy can hold out in front for this qualifying session, he should be okay. And he returns to the pits. Doesn't really think he's going to improve. The track might be getting a bit too wet now. You can see slightly the track's getting a bit damp or a bit greasy, but track conditions still at the moment says fast. It doesn't look like anyone is really improving with the 97 car. Ifan coming through the final corner, he's on a lap. So let's see if it's going to be any improvement for him. 2.4 seconds off as he crosses the line. No improvement there from him. And like I said earlier, the grip of the track is going to become less and less and less. Hanrahan opting to go out of the pits now. Maybe a bit too late for him, and he's going to be careful. Yep, he is. Perfect good driving there from Hanrahan. And I think Kingy's just going to save his dry tyres here. And I assume they would be on dries because the track is still fast. Melvin there up into P2. So 4/10 up, but Kingy definitely timing it right and putting his hot lap in as soon as possible. Because now the track is just going to get wetter and wetter. And it's going to come to a point where slicks won't be suitable here at Oulton Park. And you have the likes of Viper and Viper not really qualifying where you'd expect him to be, but he's still out on track. Where is he at the moment? Just exited Show Oils there. But we've got a few cars coming up towards the final few sectors. The number... what number is that? That is number 18, I believe. Windsay's not on a valid lap at the moment, but Lely, number 9, coming through the final corner, is on a lap here. Oh, he's gone a bit deep there in the final corner. That's going to be invalid. No improvement there from him as he crosses the line. Nice livery there in that Bentley though. Really like that livery from Lely. A very stealthy livery there from the Bentley driver. But Melvin now into the pits knows he can't really improve. I think the driver's just thinking about the race now, trying to save their tyres for the race. Obviously, they're only allowed two dry tyre sets. And oh, I think that'll be Windsor taking a bit too much curb on the inside. And there we go. That's his lap over. He's picked some damage up on the front as well. So don't think that's going to be an improvement on his lap. Back onto Seuss, who's just crossed the line, puts it up into P3, 5/10 off. And I think that pole position is already secured by Kingy here. No one is really going to improve in the last few minutes of this qualifying session. Ollie RSR and Hanrahan haven't been able to put in laps at the moment. And the track's now gone to green. There you go. So from optimum to fast to green to greasy and then damp. All those changes happen very, very quickly. And I think for Ollie RSR and Hanrahan, it's just a matter of getting a valid lap in. As Ollie RSR crosses the line. There we go. Sideways into turn 1. And they could actually find themselves starting towards the back of the grid here. But this qualifying session has definitely mixed things up. You don't usually see some of these drivers this far down the order. Joshua saying Kenny should have moved for Seuss. No, he shouldn't have. They're both on fast laps. Both drivers on a hot lap are allowed to continue. No one has to move out the way for each other. That's only the case if one driver is on either an invalid lap or an out lap, then they have to move out the way. Kenny in that instance was perfectly fine, and Ollie Arsar getting very sideways there. Just needs to make sure he can get a valid lap in. Now Hanrahan's got his valid lap in, but it's only put him in P13. And there we go, almost losing the car there through that chicane. Through Britons, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be any improvement for Hanrahan. Where's Ollie Arsar coming up through the final corner? Another slide there from him. Let's just see if it can be a valid lap for him as he crosses the line. And no, oh, there we go. He puts it to P7. So still a good lap, even though the track is green. And I don't know how he's done that, but props to Ollie Arsar for putting that lap time in. 1.8 seconds off, even on a green track. And with him sliding all over the place, and I think that's his qualifying session done. He's into the wall, and Deedee now coming through the final corner. Let's see if he can improve his lap time. It's currently 2 seconds off. Porsche, a good car, and no improvement there for him. Not as strong in the wet. Melvin back out on track in a bid to improve his lap time. He may be on wets here, but he definitely doesn't want to use them up on a green track, because if the race is wet, he'll be starting on those used up wet tyres. So he crosses the line. Yeah, no improvement there for him. Where is Lely? He's coming up to Shell Oils now. We've got a few cars coming across the line. Number 5 and number 67 who aren't on a hot lap at the moment. But we've got the number 33 car who's on the next hot lap here. BST NNA coming through the final sector. And now down towards Lodge Corner. The top 3 all into the pits. They know they can't improve. Then they're all saving their tyres for the race. BST NNA crossing the line. Is it any improvement for him? No, it's not. Still sits in P12. He's got one last chance to improve. And the McLaren seems to be more planted than the Bentley of Ollie RSR. But it doesn't really mean anything, because we saw Ollie RSR putting it up into P7 even with sliding, and that's BST NNA's lap over. The number 17 car of a Hanrahan crosses the line, puts it up into P12, so gains the position. We saw Deedee cross the line there. Oh no, he's going into the pits. So no improvement there from him. SVW sliding all over the place there. He'll be the next car to cross the line. Lely's finished his qualifying session in P4. And SVW 2 seconds off in the number 5 Mercedes. He's at risk of, well, he was at risk of being demoted after his car change, but he seems to be okay now. So drivers that are at risk, let's double check who's at risk. Rapid Duck, Slow Wolf, and Just OK Sari are all at risk of being demoted. Rapid Duck obviously a new driver in Division 1. But there we go, there's your qualifying session done. Fresh Kingy qualifying on pole position there. Melvin in P2 and Seuss in P3. Make sure to stay tuned for the race, because it's going to be a good one. go then on the formation lap for Division 1. We saw in qualifying Key taking pole position very early on, and no one was able to top that as the session became wetter and wetter. But Melvin on the front row with him in P2, Seuss in P3 on the second row, joined by Lely in 4th, Viper and Ithan 5th and 6th, Oli Arasar 7th, DeedeeTKU 8th, SVW in 9th, Pinocchio in 10th, Kenning in 11th, Hanrohan in 12th, PST NNA in 13th, and Windsor in 14th. Let's get your predictions in chat of who you think is going to finish in the top 3 here towards the end of the race. Track looks dry for this, if you haven't figured already. Looks dry for the race here at Division 1. Similar conditions to what we saw in Division 2 and Division 3. And let's hope everyone can keep it clean to turn 1. See in Division 2 and Division 3 as well, the curb into turn 1 is quite lethal on lap 1 at least. So these drivers have been warned about that curb on the inside. Coming into Old Hall Corner. But here we go, drivers lining up side by side now. Let's hope they can keep it clean, get it through cleanly on the first lap. But Oulton Park always throws up some drama, even in real world motorsport. It's not an easy track. Let's see here who's going to get the better run coming to turn 1, or are they going to play it safe here? We've crossed the start finish line, but that's not where the flag goes green. There we go, now we're green. And it looks like Melvin has got the much better start coming into turn 1. Kingy just played it safe there, and he's dropped down a position, but all the drivers you can see missing that inside curve, just being very, very careful. Scrolling down, Oliosar just tagging it a little bit, but everyone being very careful on that one. SVW just behind, if the cameraman wants to pan over. There we go, in the number 5 BMW. I think he got the position on Deedee actually off the start, but everyone through cleanly. Brilliant start. That's exactly what you want to see here from Division 1. And I think that is the McLaren of Pinocchio trying to go around the outside of Deedee coming through Shell Oils. I think he may have done it actually. He's going to be side by side coming down into the chicane, and he's got the job done, but almost lost the car on the curb there, on the grass even. But he's kept it together. And there we go, upper position. Good move there from Pinocchio. We're back to the race lead. Oh, Kingy's... that's Seuss and Kingy coming together. Kingy's race has gone from good to bad. And Seuss is obviously going to have to wait for him here. Kingy not happy with that at all. Seuss... I think he may have stalled the car there. Seuss took a very opportunistic move. And he's definitely going to have to return that position to Kingy. Otherwise he's going to get quite a hefty penalty here for lap 1. And no, he doesn't seem to be returning that position. Kingy still there. Oh, we've lost another car. Oli Asar into the wall. He's made a mistake as well. And he's got it going now. No, he still hasn't got it going. Not sure what's happened there to Oli Asar. Maybe he's had an equipment failure because his car isn't moving at all. Let's hope all is okay there. Doesn't seem to have any damage on his car either on the front, which is odd. Which is very odd actually, but here we go. Melvin up into the lead, 2.7 second gap to Lely in P2. And that is Windsor going very, very slowly There. Oh no, I think it may have just been the camera angle. Kingy down in P13 though. P12. He's made a position, but Seuss still not opting to return that position. Surprisingly, after tagging Kingy, it was definitely one to. It's definitely one he should have returned, I think. And oh, that is a hand-to-hand losing the car through the chicane. Got a bit sideways under the brakes, and needs to be careful rejoining because Kingy is right behind him now. And Kingy, is he going to have a look coming down towards the second chicane? No, he's a bit too far back. But yeah, Kingy's not going to be happy with what happened earlier on. He started on pole when he's down in P12, and like I said, Oulton Park really does throw some drama up into the air. But Seuss still continuing on in P10 at the moment. Doesn't feel like he did anything wrong. So he is continuing on, and he's got past Kenny there. Kenny in the background has dropped down to P10. But Seuss is looking to make a move here on BSTNNA. You can see up ahead as well, Deedee is closing onto the back of Ifan and Viper. Looks like... oh wait, no, so yes. Ifan, Viper and Pinochle. Pinochle up into P4, which is a very, very good start from him. We're only 4 minutes into this race. It feels like it's been half an hour already. But Oliver saw into the pits, and yeah, I'm really not sure what's happened to him because he didn't have any damage on his car. Just seemed like his equipment may have stopped working there. But let's hope he can continue this race. Let's hope all is okay where he is. Viper now having to defend from Ifan and Deedee behind. This is going to allow Pinochle just up ahead to pull away. You can see in the background as well, Seuss, Kenny, and Hanrahan all catching up to this pack just up ahead. Got a 4-car battle at the moment. I think it's going to be a 5, 6, 7-car battle in a matter of laps, or even corners here. Viper catching back up to Pinochle. Pinochle hasn't really been able to pull away a huge amount. See in the background there, Deedee just playing a patient game, not really taking any risks. As we saw Ifan go wide there on the penultimate corner. Has to be careful here. Track limits isn't a huge deal at Oulton Park, but the curbs is where you need to be careful because they can throw you off in a blink of an eye. Now coming down into turn 1, curb on the inside is quite deadly as well. Both drivers there just missing it slightly. The Ferrari and McLaren as well. McLaren and Pinochle just up ahead, not great at taking the curbs. They sit very low to the ground. And I think Pinochle with a slight bit of rear diffuser damage already. Not sure if that may just be his... Oh, that's Viper off! He's gone a bit too wide coming through Island Bend. And he's lost so many positions. I think he may have kept it out of the wall there. But he's going to have to rejoin behind Kingy, that is. So he's gone from P5 down to what would be P12, I think he's gone down to. It looks like his car is okay. So no damage there, but he's lost a number of positions. Like I said earlier, Oulton Park, such a difficult track here in the GT3 cars. And one mistake can find you in the wall or even off the track. And that's dropped him down. We'll wait for that to update, but that's definitely dropped him down a number of positions. Still not sure what happened to Oli RSR. But seems to still be in the pits. It did seem like a wheel failure, but something else may have happened. But Seuss now on the back of Deedee after his little incident with Kingy. He may not have been at fault there, but at the angle we saw it at, it definitely looked like it. But he's definitely closing up to the back of Deedee here. 8/10 is the gap at the moment. Maybe less than that once they cross the next sector line. It looks less than that. 5/10, there we go. As they come into sector 2 now. Coming up to Shell Oil's corner, very late on the brakes from Seuss, much later than the Porsche of Didier up ahead. That could just be the Constantina effect that we're talking about. Now coming through Britons. Both drivers got through cleanly, and Ithan Pinocchio just up ahead. They're battling. Oliarso with a stop-go 30 for speeding in the pits. But good to see him. There we go. We've got confirmation. Some disconnection glitch put him off his race. So possibly something wrong with the game or the internet. It's unfortunate, but good to see him back out on track. And I'm sure he'll definitely be picking up some points here at this race, even if it's for last position. But Ithan really trying to get a move done on Pinocchio just up ahead. Pinocchio having to take a compromise line there, got a bit loose on the exit, and Ithan's got the much better run. He's going to have a look up the inside coming to turn 1. Pinocchio thought about defending the inside, but Ithan is right there, and Pinocchio's going to try and hold it around the outside. He's done so. Good defending there from Pinocchio. Ithan's going to have to settle back for P5, but this has brought Deedee and Seuss right into the mix of things. Once again, back in a 4-car battle here for P4 it is, and SVW up into P3 already after the mistakes from Viper, Seuss and Kingy, I believe it was, and Oliarso obviously with his some connection issue. Oh, Didi's made a mistake there coming out of Britons, and he's going to lose the 2-3 positions there. 2 positions, sorry, to Seuss and BST NNA. So you can see how close the drivers are. One mistake loses you a number of positions here at Oulton Park. It looks like, back to this battle, looks like Ithan is still eager to get this move done on Pinocchio. He knows that Seuss is catching up from behind. He's going to be looking in his rearview mirrors, just seeing a glimpse of that Audi behind him. But I think he's got the better run now. Once again, coming down towards turn 1, he's going to have a look up the inside. I don't think he's close enough. There we go, has to back out. Pinocchio defends the inside, but doesn't get the exit he wants coming out of turn 1. Now coming towards Cascades. Is he going to try the outside here, or is he going to go for a switchback? I think he's once again, I think Ithan once again is just focusing on the exit here. But now coming through Island Bend, he's not going to be able to get alongside. And now down to Shell Oil. It's a bit risky to go for a move here. He's going to try the outside, but that could open the door up for Seuss right behind. Seuss is going to have the inside coming through Shell Oils. And I think he may be slightly ahead, but a bit of contact between the two. They need to be careful here. And side by side through Britons. I don't know how they've done that, but Seuss having to back out, and Ithan up into holding on to P5. Sorry, that's given Pinocchio some breathing room, but it's also allowed Deedee to close in once again after his mistake. And Ithan's made another mistake there. Coming, I can't remember the corner name now. Coming through. What's that? Hislops and now Knickerbrook. And now coming up towards Druid's corner. And Seuss is going to have a look up the inside coming up towards the final corner. Ithan leaves him the room, but Seuss isn't close enough yet. He's just going to have to settle for P6 at the moment. And he's really eager to get this move done on Ithan. He's going to have a look up the inside coming to turn 1. Ithan leaves him the room. He's going to try and hold it round the outside, but I think Seuss may just have it. He's slightly ahead. Ithan has to be careful here. Nope, Seuss has got the job done. And he's up into P5. So now he can focus on Pinocchio ahead. He's opened up a slight gap to these two drivers behind. There you go. It's about 9/10 now to Seuss behind. But let's look at this battle. Kingy making his way back through the field. He's got the move done on BST. I think BST's made a mistake somewhere. He's dropped 3 seconds to Kingy. So yeah, he's definitely made a mistake somewhere, and Viper now closing up to the back of a Hanrahan after his mistake. Oh, that's Kenny off, coming through Island Bend. Carried a bit too much speed and he's gone wide, but he's managed to stay out the wall. And he's got it going now. I think that puts him down into P12, I believe, because Windsor is just coming through turn 1 down into turn 2 now. But here we go, back to the battle for P4. Zeus is caught right up to the back of Pinochle after he had that short-lived gap. They've both run slightly wide there, coming through the penultimate corner. And Zeus is going to have a look up the inside. Nope. Pinocchio's defended the inside there. It's going to compromise his exit once again. And Zeus a bit too far back at the moment, but he's definitely got the better exit. And look at the closing speed there. But no, he's just not able to get the move done. Still a bit too far back. And I think as long as Ithan can stick with these two up front, he can easily capitalise on any mistakes they make. And same with Deedee as well. He's there or thereabouts, but the gap at the top has come down. Melvin's made a mistake somewhere. Lely has caught up. The gap is 6/10 between these two at the top. Battle's going on all over the field. It's only been 14 minutes and it feels like it's been an hour already. That's how many battles have been going on. But Melvin is going to have to defend now early on in the race. Lely won't have to worry about anyone behind him because they've got a comfortable 14-second lead to SVW, but Lely's made a mistake coming out of Knickerbrook, and he's dropped back now a second to Melvin in front. Back to this battle. Looks like Zeus has got the job done on Pinochle, and Pinochle down into P5. Zeus up into P4. Now Pinocchio's going to have to defend once again from Ithan behind. We've got Gas16 in the comments saying great action. My PS4 suddenly slowed down. I'm not sure if that was Mad Max. I think he had the same issue. That might be him, but that's Pinochle defending the inside there, getting sideways on the exit of turn 1. But he's managed to hold off against Ithan and Deedee as well. But Deedee, bit of contact there between Ithan and Pinochle. I think Ithan may have been in the wrong there. He's possibly going to have to return the position. Yes, he does. And he's actually come out worse. He's lost 2 more positions. He's going to lose quite a few positions, actually. So you're going to have to wait for the drivers to go past, for the oncoming cars to go past. Look at the bollards in the background. But yeah, Ithan obviously returning the position there. Don't think he had much choice, to be honest. He was spun around as a result, but it looked like he did make contact with the side of Pinocchio's McLaren. But Pinocchio, as a result, losing a position to Deedee, and this has allowed Kingy to catch back up. Also, Oli RSR, who's a few laps down, but he's still going to try and make his way up. He's obviously allowed to unlap himself here. For those of you that missed it, Oli RSR had some issue with his game, but good to see him back out on track, and good to see it wasn't actually any contact with any of the drivers out on track. But Kingy, after his incident with Zeus, has made it back up to P7. He's looking for this position on Pinochle. The Bentley, very good car around Oulton Park, completely ignores the curbs here as if they're not even there. That's what ignores means. But Kingy looking good here for P6 at the moment, P7 at the moment, but he's really catching up to the back of Pinochle. It's not easy to overtake at Oulton Park. It's such a narrow track, and like I said, in Division 2, he's gone very late on the brakes there, and he's hit the back of Pinochle, and he's gained a position out of that. That was a bit cheeky there. He's returned the position. Good driving there from Kingy. He knows he was in the wrong. Very sportsmanlike, and that's going to help him in his championship, obviously. Because if Pinocchio were to put an incident report on that, it would have been a heftier penalty if Kingy hadn't returned the position. You can see the McLaren ahead of Pinocchio just spitting flames there. But Kingy, I think, may be taking it a bit easier now. Or he may just want to get this move done on Pinocchio. Doesn't really have to worry. Back to the race lead. Melvin's been holding this 8/10 gap to Lely just behind. Lely's currently in second. It says 8/10, but it looks less than that. Yep, it is. They just crossed the next sector line into sector 2, and it is 4/10 between these two drivers. Melvin has been having to defend since the 50-minute mark, really. 10 minutes in, he's been having to defend, possibly after a mistake he made. You can see there, breaking into the chicane, trying to carry as much speed in through Britons as possible. And Lely losing a bit of time there. Melvin seems to be a bit quicker through Britons. Both the Lexus and the Bentley aren't really troubled by the curbs here at Oulton Park. But let's look further down to this battle for P6. Pinocchio still holding on after the slight contact between Pinocchio and Kingy. There's definitely damage on both of their cars here, but I don't think it's enough to really slow them down. Coming through Knickerbrooks now on the exits. Kenny. Oh, there's been a mistake there from Ithan once again, and he's lost the position to Kenny. So Kenny up into P11 and Ithan down into P12. Viper's closing up to the back of BSTNNA. It says 9/10. It could be less than that. It's definitely less than that as we approach the final corner, Lodge corner. And a bit of a compromised line there from Viper. Didn't really use the exit curb. Let's go back to the battle for the lead. Flashing lights there from Melvin. There's the back marker up in front. That would be Windsor up in front. And Melvin really doesn't want to lose much time to Windsor up ahead. There we go. We've got the pit window open now, and it'll be open for 20 minutes. Pit stop requirements. If you're unsure of that, there we go. Windsor moving out the way of both drivers. Then would have been better to do it on this straight, but it works. The pit stop requirements then for Division 1. You have to refuel, mandatory refueling, and refueling time is fixed to 25 seconds, so that means no matter how many litres they put in to that car, it will their pit stop time will be 25 seconds regardless. They have the option to change tyres, and I think Melvin with a fake to the pits there, but yeah, they have the option to change tyres, and that will add an extra 5 seconds to their pit stop. So we could see some different strategies here at Oulton Park, and with it being such a narrow track, it may be an option for the race leader like Melvin not to change tyres, because he knows he can hold off Lely just by placing his car in the right places. So it may be an option for him to not change tyres and get that extra 5 seconds if Lely does change his tyres. And then all he needs to do is defend, really. There we go, Ithan, the first driver into the pits. Pinocchio following him in as well. But Viper on the back of BSTNNA hasn't been able to get this move done yet. And this is going to be damage limitation for him, because he started towards the top 5, I believe it was, and he made a mistake coming through this very corner here, Island Bend, ran a bit wide, and it's so easy to do so. You pick up too much curb on the inside, and that will just throw you wide through Island Bend, and then as soon as you hit that grass on the outside, there's no way of saving it at all. And that's possibly what happened to Viper. But the McLaren of BST really bouncing over that curb, and I think that's hindered his exit because Viper has really closed the gap, and you can see he's going defensive now, keeping his car in the middle of the track. Viper! Oh, that was a bit of an optimistic move there from Viper. There was not any space on the inside, and both drivers having to take to the grass. But yeah, Viper definitely would not have been able to get that move done at all. They would have had a better bet for going around the outside, but thankfully both of them didn't come out very bad from that incident there. The gap at the top still within a second. Actually, it's much less than that. It keeps bouncing between about 9/10 to 4/10. Both drivers in different cars, so each car is going to be stronger at one part of the track than another. And that's a good thing with having a mix of cars here, because if they were in the same car, the Bentley, they'd be strong and slow in the exact same places, and that makes it 10 times harder to overtake, really. But it looks like Melvin is quicker through this final sector here and towards the end of sector 2, but Lely closes the gap in sector 1. The gap is over a second now, but Seuss is right at the back of SVW. SVW had quite a substantial gap, but Seuss has been putting the laps in. I don't see any damage on SVW's car. Oh, he's run slightly wide there coming out of Nickelbrook. But yeah, I don't see any damage on that Mercedes. So I think it has just been a case of Seuss putting in the laps and managing to catch up here. Now coming up towards the final corner, Seuss is having a look up the inside, just showing himself in the rearview mirrors of SVW. And Seuss is going to have another look up the inside now, coming into turn 1. He's got the much better exit, but SVW can hold the inside. He's not going to, though. He's going to leave the room for Seuss. Seuss is going to try it, but no, SVW, good defending, has held it around the outside. Flash of the lights there from Seuss. Not really sure why he's flashing his lights. We don't recommend that. Maximum of 3 light flashes is allowed, unless you're obviously lapping a car. But these two are in the battle at the moment, and looks like Seuss not close enough, coming to Shell Oils. Is there space in the inside? No, there's not. Did look like it when they first came through. But SVW doing a good job at defending, and like I said earlier, if you just place your car in the correct places, it's almost impossible to overtake here. He found into the pits for quite a while, actually. He hasn't got going yet. But here we go, BST NNA. Viper got the move done on BST NNA. We didn't catch what happened there, but this has allowed a hand in the number 17 Audi, you can see there in the background, to catch right up to the back of these two. And BST has still been able to stick with Viper, though, on fairly similar pace, I believe. But looks like BST's lost some time there coming through the final few corners of Sector 2. But look at the gap between SVW and Seuss, it's super close. Neither of his drivers opting to pit yet. Lely's still keeping Melvin honest at the top, and SVW's run slightly wide. You can see that he's taken a bit of the grass, and that's allowed Seuss down the inside. Seuss just taking advantage of that, capitalizing on SVW's mistake, and there we go, Seuss up into a podium position. And he's definitely got the pace here at Oulton Park. Audi, a very good car at this track. And likewise is the Mercedes, but SVW just not able to keep up. Or just not able to hold off Seuss. And Seuss's continuous pressure on SVW finally paid off. And he got the move done there, but the gap at the top has come down once again. And looks like Melvin, in the sector where he's the strongest, Sector 3, hasn't paid off for him because he's made a mistake somewhere. Could this be his opportunity to drive in the pits? No. had a look up the inside into the pits, but it could have just been a dummy, and Lely's going to have a nose down the inside. Had a look, but I think he had to overslow the car there to avoid making contact with Melvin, and it really is just about forcing the driver in front to make a mistake, because there's not much room here at Oulton Park to overtake. I think you just have to keep applying that pressure, which is exactly what Lely has been doing. Maybe a few dummies up the inside would help. There we go, SVW into the pits. Could he be going for an undercut on Seuss? It could work if Seuss ends up changing his tyres and SVW doesn't. But we saw SVW getting past quite easily coming through turn 2, which would be Cascades. Obviously he made a mistake, and he may be quite prone to that if he doesn't go on a fresh set of rubber. But you can see there through the chicanes, Melvin is significantly quicker. Lely just has the advantage in Sector 1 and possibly Sector 3 now. Melvin not as quick as he was before. Maybe his tyres dropping off. And I know, oh, he's run a bit wide there, almost losing the car. Is that his indication to pit? Yes, it is. Lely keeping out on track. And Melvin almost losing the car. And I know with the Lexus, the tyres drop off extremely quickly. And it doesn't help driving the Lexus aggressively, especially when you're defending lap after lap in P1. But if An's still in the pits, don't think he's going to come back out then. SVW saying he was driving with 2 punctures for 20 minutes. That's what would have. That's why he would have made that mistake coming through. Cascades. But he must have definitely changed his tyres then. And Melvin, the race leader, still in the pits. Let's see where he comes out. Doesn't want to really be coming out in any traffic. But he's been there for a while. There we go. Been dropped off the jacks now. And he's got going straight away. And there we go. Ifan, unfortunately, retiring the car. So he won't be picking up any points here tonight.
We are at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
The field, obviously, after the pit stops, does spread out slightly, but just 9.5 minutes left for the pit window. Hanahan making a slight mistake there, going through Britons. And Lely now in the pit, so this is going to be interesting. Where will he come out in comparison to Melvin? Currently in a bit of clean air at the moment, and he's got a long way to go to complete this lap. But Sector 3, very, very fast sector here at Oulton Park. And let's see, where is Lely? Still in the pits, he's not going to be dropped off the jacks yet. Melvin is coming through Druid's corner there, now down towards Lodge corner. And where is Lely? Has he been dropped? Yes, he has. He's got going now. I may have done it. No, it's going to be super close here. Lely. Oh, that's not Lely. Lely's got going, and I think. Where is Melvin? He's jumped Melvin in the pits there. So Lely definitely not changing tyres, I think, because he's got quite a few seconds to Melvin. So this is what it probably is. Melvin's changed tyres, and Lely hasn't. And Lely knows. So the undercuts worked. Lely knows Melvin's probably going to catch up with to him on a fresh set of rubber, but with that massive Bentley, he can just hold the right line and defend each and every corner on such a narrow track like Oulton Park. Yeah, you can see there Melvin 4.8 seconds back, so pretty much 5 seconds, and it's an extra 5 seconds to change your tyres, so that's definitely what happened here. It looks like Windsor on a different strategy to BSTNNA. Says 8 tenths, but it looks like it's more than that now. And back to this battle. Melvin's already closing the gap to Lely. It's down to 4 seconds already. And Melvin with the better pace in his second stint. But Lely's got a lot of work to do though if he wants to hold off Melvin. 27 minutes to go. It's not an easy time to have the Lexus right behind you and continuously defending for that much. It's not easy. Gap down to 3.8 now. It's really coming down every corner. And Melvin is closing in inch by inch here. They've got a car separating them though. They have the McLaren. I believe it's Pinochle there. Yes, it is. But he's definitely going to have to move out of the way for Melvin, who is a lead car here. But Melvin is closing the gap. Like I said, 3.6 seconds now. Flash of lights from him. It's Pinochle to move out of the way. This next straight would be the ideal place. I know he's a bit too far up ahead. Maybe this next straight. Let's see if Melvin can get close enough, really. But I think he'll benefit actually from the slipstream of Pinocchle's McLaren just up ahead. I wouldn't really want him to move out of the way just yet. If I were Melvin, I'd stay in the slipstream until we get down to the start-finish straight, really. Oh, he's outbraked himself slightly coming through the final corner. You see, didn't really take the inside curb. Another flash of the lights there from Melvin. Blue flags are being waved. And Pinocchle's going to have to get out of the way soon. Oh, that could be a track limit warning there for Melvin. He needs to be careful coming to turn 1. Pinochle has to move out of the way on this back straight here. Because if not, he's going to be hindering Melvin quite a bit now, coming up towards Island Bend and then through Shell Oils. He's been blue flagged once again. Oh, is that a car off? No, it's not. Oh, wait, it is. That's number 9 car. Oh, that's Lely who's made a mistake somewhere. So, he's made a mistake possibly coming through Island Bend. And that's promoted Melvin up into what would be the net race lead. Pinochle has to be careful here. There we go. Let's Melvin pass now. Took a bit long to do so, but don't really think Melvin will be bothered about that now that Lely has made that mistake. And obviously the used tyres, staying on the used tyres hasn't helped him at all. Oliarasar back into the pits for some reason. Could this be fuel? It may be fuel for Oliarasar. Still got Seuss and Viper to make their mandatory pit stop. 4 minutes left to go of the pit window, so I assume they'll be pitting the next lap. Viper now into the pits. There we go. So he's pitting this lap. He's going extremely slow in the pit lane. I think he may have been editing his strategy there. That's going to lose him a lot of time in the pit stops. That's really where it can make or break your race here. Kingy closing up to the back of SVW. 1.1 seconds between those two drivers. But yeah, as we saw, SVW earlier on had 2 punctures. And he was driving with them for 20 minutes, but I assume he's on a fresh set of tyres now. He definitely wouldn't be able to keep on driving with them. And there we go, Oliarasar back out on track. It may have just been fuel there for him. Seuss opting to keep it out late. Oh, Viper with a stop go for speeding. That's probably why he tried to go a bit slower in the pit lane, but that hasn't paid off. And that's going to drop him down the order even more than he is now. Currently running in P7. But back to this battle, King and SVW. King seems to have the pace advantage here in the second stint. But not able to get the move done at the moment. There we go, Seuss into the pits now. He's made his mandatory stop. Let's see where he comes out in comparison to the rest of the field. I think he may be in a bit of no man's land here. Yes, he is. He's on his own in clean air. But that will put him in P3. Lely is just up ahead of him there. Not too far off, actually, but with 21 minutes. Actually, it's if Lely makes another mistake, Seuss will be right on the back of him. Let's go back to this battle, actually. Kingy still not able to get the move done. He's being patient, and that's exactly what you need to do here in such a narrow track. You just need to keep on applying the pressure to the driver in front. And with GT3 cars being so wide and just bigger than usual, bigger than your daily road cars in general, just due to all the aero and everything they need on the car, it's not easy on narrow tracks like this. And with Bentley being probably one of the biggest and heaviest cars in the GT3 category, it's also not going to be easy for him to overtake. But you can see in the background, Deedee not too far off. These two up ahead, Kenny and SVW, do either come into an entanglement or they continue battling hard like this. I think Deedee may be able to close the gap down to Kingy and SVW. But let's bring up the onboards here. Top right onboard is SVW's, and the bottom right is Melvin, who's currently in the lead at the moment. 5-second lead to Lely.
Pit window is now closed.
But Lely, with what I assume would be used tyres, it's going to be quite difficult for him to catch up to Melvin. And these drivers have two dry sets of tyres to last in practice, qualifying and the race. Obviously practice is just to allow drivers to join before the qualifying session. Practice is where they'd be using one of their tyre sets, and they'd have to be using, and if they do change tyres in the race, they'd be on from a fresh set to a used set, or from a used set to a fresh set, whichever way around the drivers' strategies are. There we go, Kingy losing some time to SVW. The gap at the top is coming down slightly, even though Lely may be on a used set here. But Melvin could also be on a used set, as he'd be, like I mentioned, he'd possibly be on his qualifying set. It's really coming down now, 4.5 seconds, with just under 19 minutes left to go. It's definitely possible for Lely to grab back the race win here. But catching up is one thing, overtaking is another. And like we're seeing here with SVW and Kingy, it's not easy for either driver. Kingy seems to be a bit faster through that final corner there, and he's going to have a little look up the inside coming down towards turn 1, just showing himself, just showing his presence really. That's what you need to do, because we saw SVW make a mistake earlier on, just by being pressured by Seuss for a number of laps. And at the moment, the gap at the top, 4.1 seconds. We'll see if that updates and decreases. But SVW's made another mistake coming through the same corner last time through Cascades, and Kingy's got the job done. And SVW, he's still there though. And SVW, oh, a bit of contact I think. I'm not too sure, but SVW losing out on the position. This has really allowed Deedee to catch up. And that's what I predicted earlier. Deedee would be able to catch up to these two if they continue battling as hard as they are now. And SVW hasn't had a break. He's going to have to defend once more from the Porsche of Deedee behind him. Stuart Packham in the comments saying, Lely, get a grip of yourself after the mistake he made. Stuart, obviously, lager in Division 2, Division 3 I'd like to say. No, Division 3. Oh, I'm not even sure myself. Division 3, there we go. Who was leading the race, unfortunately disconnected. But he'll still be picking up points as he completed 75% of the race. Kingy not able to really pull out a gap to the two drivers behind him. I think Deedee has been doing a great drive tonight, just waiting patiently. And I think his best bet is to work with SVW, to just stick with Kingy. But SVW really doesn't like cascades, so he loses a lot of time. You can see how much time he's lost there, and he's going to open up the inside to Deedee, but Deedee had to back out. That wasn't really alongside the Mercedes with a better straight line speed, was able to pull away. But yeah, I think that's where SVW has been struggling the most, is cascades. Just can't carry the speed through there. And that's allowed Kingy to open up a bit of breathing space. The gap at the top has increased. So Melvin obviously responding to that delta coming down. And let's get a good onboard view here from SVW. There we go, on board with SVW in the AMG. You see these three drivers space themselves out slightly. Deedee's lost quite a bit of time to these two in front. But Kingy slowly pulling away from SVW now. He's running in fourth, is Kingy, after his little incident in the chicane. I believe it was on lap 1. But you know, you can never have a incident-free race. There we go, got my words out. Incident-free race every single race here, and there's always something bound to happen in racing. There we go. Oh, SVW very loose there, coming through Island Bend. I thought he almost lost the car, but he's kept it together somehow. There we go, getting the car tucked back in. On the inside of show oils now, coming up to Britton's Mercedes. Take quite a bit of curb, as can the Bentley up ahead. And SVW on for a good lap here. His best was a 136 flat, and his last was a 136.8. Still seems to be keeping up with Kingy though up ahead. Kingy hasn't really been able to pull away a huge amount. But he is inching away, coming through those chicanes especially. And now he's been able to open up the gap to SVW. You can see there Deedee behind, dropping back slightly. But he's still there or thereabouts, just in case any of these drivers up ahead make a mistake. He's there just to pounce on that position. Let's go back track side here. Gap at the top has come down once again. So it's bouncing between 4 and 5 seconds. I'm not sure if that's due to a concertina effect or if that's due to it would be for traffic. There you go, Melvin trying to get past that's BST NNA in P9. So that's where he would have lost some time there. And the gap, what is it as they cross the next sector line? We shall see. We'll wait for Lely to cross the sector line as well. 3.3 seconds, it's come down. Melvin might be feeling some pressure now with just under 13 minutes left to go. plenty of time for Lely to catch up. Let's go back to this battle. Gap staying within a second. But this is where SVW seems to lose the time through this second chicane of Hislops and Knickerbrook. We've got a bit of a fan club there in the comments, a Kenny fan club, as Andrew says in the comments. But yeah, SVW, like I said, still keeping the gap, still keeping Kingy honest. And Deedee not too far behind either. Still just managing that gap, but it's coming down at the top, 2.9 seconds. And the thing is, if Melvin starts pushing the car now, he's more prone to making a mistake, which isn't really in a position he wants to be. So as long as he can keep it together, I think he may be okay here for P1. The gap still... it's slightly gone up now, 3 seconds, it was 2.9. But a 10th here or there doesn't really matter. The track is now optimum as well. We saw for the majority of the race it was fast, so grip levels are now between 90% to 100%. Between there, the track much grippier now, and the sun's out slightly as well. But Lely really closing the gap there, coming through turn 1. And Viper as well, closing the gap to BST NNA once again. After his stop go 30 he got in the pits for speeding. So he's now finding himself behind BST NNA, which I believe he was battling with earlier on in this race. And look at the gap at the top, 2.3 seconds. Melvin is definitely going to be feeling the pressure here in the final 10 minutes of the race. He's got to be careful, because one mistake could end it all for Melvin here. He could lose the race lead, but he hasn't really put a foot wrong. And Winter into the pits once more. Oh, he's got some damage on that Audi of his. So he's definitely lost the car somewhere. Viper right in the back. Oh, he's side by side with Ollie RSR. Ollie RSR allowed to unlap himself. And Viper lets him through. That's probably sensible if Ollie RSR is quicker. But as a result, he's lost some time to BST NNA. That's given him some breathing room now. Some time to focus on the track ahead. Look at the gap at the top, it's coming down every time it updates. Each sector comes down a few tenths. And Ollie RSR definitely got the pace on BST NNA as well, but he is a few laps down unfortunately. But BST's best bet would be just to let him through, otherwise he's going to lose a lot of time to someone he doesn't really want to be battling with. And there we go, I think he's going to do so. Yes, he does. Ollie RSR is through, but he's run slightly wide there, almost losing the car. BST, it's better for him to hold the inside, not to open up the door for Viper, because Viper is right on the back of him now. And Ollie RSR, flashing lights there from BST NNA, but if Ollie RSR can pull away, he shouldn't really have to give that position back. Yeah, there we go, he's pulling away already. And you are obviously allowed to unlap yourself. So BST doesn't really have to worry about Ollie RSR anymore. And oh, Viper very late on the brakes, outbrakes himself massively, and he's going to lose a substantial amount of time to BST up ahead. Oh, the gap at the top has increased again. It's increased by a second. Lely's made a mistake once more, so those used tyres not coming, not working in his favour. And that's given Melvin, that's probably made him given him a bit of a relaxation there after that mistake from Lely. But he's run wide once again. He has to be careful. He could pick up a drive-through. I don't know how many track limit warnings he's on at the moment, or if he is on any. But he definitely has to be careful here. The gap between Kingy and SVW still around a second and a half. I think Kingy just has the edge in this second stint here on SVW. Now the gap between Melvin and Lely coming down once more, back down to 2.4 seconds. Melvin using a lot more curb there than Lely has. I think Lely made another mistake there coming through Britons. You see there the bit of the dirt flying up in the air. And once again, the delta has increased. So all his hard work is just been undone by one slight mistake there. And oh, we've got a bit of gravel being kicked up in the air. Was that Melvin? No, it wasn't. It may have been Kenny in P8. Just trying to let Melvin past. Gap between Kingy and SVW still 1.5. So it dropped down to 1.3, but that could have been during the braking zones. And Viper and BST extremely close here. Viper after having let Oli RSR through. The same for BST and NA. They now have no one to worry about. Continue their battle here, coming up towards the, well, which would be for them the 31st lap, I believe. So 2 laps down here. But that's Viper trying to have a look around the outside. You've got later Apex to get the better run, and I think it's paid off. BST's made a slight mistake. He's going to try and hold the inside line coming through Island Bend. Viper's just given him just enough room. Oh, and almost chops his nose off there. But he's got the move done. And BST very late on the brakes, almost loses the car. How did he save that? But there we go. Viper up into... Oh, he's made a mistake there. I think they may have come into contact. They have to be careful because that's Seuss coming through. And is BST waiting for him? Yes, he is. So BST possibly tagging the back of Viper. And he's doing a good job going to return the position there. But Viper's not going to be that happy with that. Yeah, he's not going to be that happy. But there we go. Flash of the lights. I believe that's to say sorry there to Viper. But good job on him returning the position. That's exactly what we like to see here in Division 1. Let's switch back to SVW. DeeDee's dropped back slightly. 4 seconds now to SVW. Hasn't really been able to keep up. And Jan in the comments saying, very good sportsmanship. Yes, indeed. That's exactly what we like to see. And pretty much everyone in Division 1 is a very respectable driver here. They know what they're doing. And they've obviously been briefed in the driver's briefing. And they listen to it very well, which is good. Good to see. And I'm telling you, you don't get this kind of sportsmanship in real racing. You don't get drivers returning positions to each other. But we're only sim racing here. We're only here to have fun. So hence the rule for position returning. And Pinochle into the pits. I think it may be fuel. He hasn't got any damage on the car. Oh, that's not going to be good for him. He may be able to stay in P11 because Windsor is a few laps down. But we'll see once they exit the pits here. And SVW doing a great job at keeping Kingy honest, keeping the gap around 1.5 seconds. And he's definitely got the pace to stick with him. But chasing someone is much easier than defending. There we go, it's dropped down to 1.1 seconds, so SVW is really trying to put in their lap times here. Just only a few minutes left to go of this race. I believe, where's the race leader? Melvin is coming through Shell Oils now, so you complete this lap. It could be this lap, and yeah, it's going to be this one, and one more after. So next lap will be the final lap then. The gap between these top two, 2.7 seconds, it's not over yet. It's definitely a chance for Lely to grab P1 here, but Melvin doing an amazing job at managing the gap. We've seen it coming down and we've seen it going back up as well. It's down to 2 seconds now. It was 2.7. 2.7? I have very short-term memory there. I don't even remember what it was. But yeah, I think it was 2.7. Yeah, it's come down to 2 seconds now. And that's a substantial chunk that Lely has taken out of Melvin's gap. As we cross the line, 1.5 now, so another 5 tenths. I think Melvin may be struggling in the final few laps of this race. Or is he low on fuel? Could he be trying to save fuel here for this final lap? I'm not too sure, because Lely is extremely close. Under a second now. Melvin had a comfortable lead, and at this last lap it's now come down to under a second. Melvin, if he is low on fuel, doesn't really want to run out here, but he also doesn't want to give up the position to Lely as he come through Britain's now. Now down towards the second chicane. Now into sector 3, we go any second. Now, there we go, into sector 3. Melvin's still holding on, clinging on to this first place here. They've only got one more corner to go pretty much. And Lely at the moment too far back to go for a move. He's got his lights on. But I think that's Melvin, if he can keep it together. Oh, that would have been scary for Melvin and Lely. But there we go, Melvin crossing the line in P1. Great race from Melvin. Lely finishing in P2. Great race there from him as well. Seuss coming up towards the final corner, finishing in P3. Obviously had a bit of an incident up the start with Kingy, but made his way back up the field. There we go, flash of the lights there from Seuss. And Kingy also with a great race. Damage limitation for him. Got past SVW, managed the gap. We've actually still got one more corner to go, so I won't speak too soon. But I'm sure he won't be taking any risks into this final corner. No, he hasn't. There we go. Kingy crossing the line in P4. Good result there from him. Good haul of points. Same for SVW, finishing in P5. And Deedee there, flash of lights from him as well. P6, good result from Deedee. Hanrahan still got a bit of a way to go to finish this lap. But he'll be finishing in P7. Hasn't got anyone to worry about here for the rest of this lap, really. But a great race from Melvin, Lely and Seuss. Those are your podium finishes here for tonight. We'll wait for Hanrahan to cross the line. Obviously wasn't the Aston Martin last season, but has opted to go in the Audi this time around. Audi, a very good car, but much more pitch sensitive than the Aston. Here we go, Hanrahan crossing the line in P6. Good points there from him, and there are your race results. Melvin in P1, Lely in P2, and Seuss in P3. Make sure to tune in on Tuesday for the Porsche Super Cup, and we'll see you then. Have a good evening. Good night.